yeah, my attempt to talk to the hive went poorly, and so that combined with the fact that his killing worked out pretty well for him in a way, kept him alive better than talking did.
It's
So
true.
he's rethinking the ways he goes about things, and thinking violence isn't. It might be a better answer than talking in many situations.
Mm-hmm. Definitely. Very interesting. Yeah, so you guys, Edlin sort of disappears into the city for a while, and the rest of you presumably take the time to, you probably, I don't know if we established it last week. You kind of clean up the bodies out of the new turf you established.
Can we hide them so I can steal their souls?
Well,
I thought we went stealing their souls.
Well, I know you took a couple of them.
I think I compelled them out, yeah.
Yeah, you took a couple. I don't think you can take all of them.
I think I could take 2, because that's about what the cloak offered.
Yeah. Yeah, so you took a couple souls, and presumably you disposed of the rest of the bodies.
I also leveled up and learned a ritual.
Yeah, a couple of you guys leveled up. What did you get when you leveled up, Cassandra?
I learned ritual.
You can broadcast that into chat if you'd like.
We talked about it a little bit before.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Excuse me. Did anyone else level up last week?
Nope.
Nobody else? Okay. I thought somebody else leveled.
No.
Okay.
Me.
Okay. Yeah, so you guys, you take your time, you clean up the lair. You get rid of the bodies. You probably try to get rid of the bloodstains. So you guys have we can fictionally establish you've had like a few days of chill time. Some of you are indulging your vice. Was it the crew that? Oh, it probably was the crew that leveled up.
No, but I don't think the crew leveled up.
No, it didn't level
We
up.
got enough to level it up, though, didn't we?
That was last.
I thought we went up from wherever we were to like the next level and like low.
I mean,
again.
we got our tier and our hold stuff changed,
right.
but the actual
that's
crew
fine.
advancement only went up 2 points.
Okay.
Something went up.
Okay. Yeah, you did. Yeah, you did. Your reputation went up, and you're now weak hold at a level 1, tier 1 weak hold in the Parlance of Blades in the Dark. Excuse me. I wasn't coughing much today, and then I started talking a bunch, and now I'm coughing. So forgive me if I'm coughing in the mic or trying to mute myself.
Forgive me if I sniffle. I have a head cold.
So yeah, you guys have had a few days where you clean up your shit. Edlin cleans the blood off his face, presumably.
I'm still hurt.
Yeah, and that's you're gonna be hurt until you can get that all healed up.
Yep, and I'm broke, so I can't even spend coin to.
Yeah, so
maybe you can sell your souls to Niall, our spirit trafficker contact.
Maybe. I also don't have any friends now, apparently.
Well, you have a rival, so that's
Apparently, I have 2 rivals now because Manuel hates me.
Well, what did we establish that he hates you, or that
he was alienated?
Yeah, I don't think
if I want that back, I'll probably need to.
He basically at this point he's not going to help you. He won't necessarily hunt you, but there's a possibility that things could go that way. Before he probably would have protected you if you really needed it, but now not so much.
Maybe I should blackmail him.
You could certainly try. It doesn't sound dangerous at all, blackmailing an inspector. So
tell his wife that he's been screwing you on the side.
You're assuming he has a wife. So yeah, you guys have had a few days since your job. Things have calmed down. Things in the city are as they are on a quote-unquote normal basis. The sun is basically a fraction of its former self. And the city is doused in eternal night. People are dragging each other into the shadows and killing each other in the streets, and ghosts roam, and things are hunky dory in Duskfall.
Home sweet home.
That's right, exactly. You may have upset the hive, but we'll see about that. So like, how do you spend your days? Like you've got a couple days.
Are we allowed to indulge our vice again?
No, this isn't. This is fictional, not mechanical.
Probably just working.
Yeah, between binge drinking and cleaning up, I think Monaco would want to actually kind of inventory what, if any, drugs or weapons were left or hidden away that we didn't immediately sell off.
Yeah, I think you did get some coin last time. I think that's where you got the coin, was from the weapons. Is that not
right? But it was a drug den, was it not?
Yeah, but I think I established there weren't really a lot of drugs there. Mostly just weapons.
Okay.
Which is odd. That's definitely something of interest. Maybe your character is interested. Maybe they're not. But yeah, it was. There were maybe a few drugs there, but not really worth much left. Either they haven't re-upped, or maybe something else was going on. You're not sure.
Maybe it was just a front for the guns.
Anything's possible in Duskwall. Always sunny in Duskwall. So, yeah. Is like fictionally, is there anything like that you would want to do over your few days? Like, does someone have an idea for a job? If not, I do. But like, what are you doing in Duskwall?
Not necessarily a job, but I think one of the things that I'd like to look into, that you sort of mentioned, is the reaction of the hive in reference to what we just did. Because my understanding is we tried to explain to him, I think it was Edlin, tried to explain to them that the Red Sashes were incompetent, they couldn't do what they were needed to do, and we wanted to help them. So I think we're sort of presenting ourselves in a positive light toward the hive. So
except that Edlin really fucked that roll up.
Or
rolled 4 dice and got 3 threes.
I mean, that was the conversation, but then the events afterward, where the Red Sashes completely lost their hold in this area.
Yeah, I mean that's definitely something of interest for sure.
Could have opened their eyes up to us.
Yeah.
Maybe someone should talk to them.
Yeah. So Johnny, how are you investigating? Like, how are you interrogating that? What are you doing?
I more or less try to overhear conversations. Maybe head towards the same headquarters that Edlin went to. I'm not very good with direct conversation, per se. So maybe trying to overhear a conversation over a day or so. Seeing if anything is mentioned about the events. Just checking for rumors and...
Well, I'll tell you this. If you're going back to the cafe where Edlin went, which is what I assume you meant.
Mm-hmm.
Excuse me. What you notice is... as a scoundrel of Duskwall, it becomes very apparent to you very quickly that this cafe seems completely normal, like a cafe that serves food. Doesn't seem to be any sort of criminal activity going on at all. It's almost like they just, realized the place might be hot and left. So, you can discover that easily, no roll required. So you've gathered some information.
No remnants of anything. There are no people, nothing.
It's a cafe. It functions. Business. Yeah, it functions as a regular little cafe. People are drinking coffee and tea and enjoying each other's company. But it doesn't seem to you as a scoundrel that there's any sort of nefarious activity going on here. Excuse me. Yeah, so you're able to discover that. Like, is there an action that you would take to.
I mean, that leaves us open to a couple different interpretations. If they've abandoned it, I mean, that could potentially open us up to take over another territory.
Well, they're not in the cafe, that's for sure.
What do you guys think about taking over a business? Maybe something that we could use as a front.
I'd really prefer a bar.
Are you suggesting we take over the Hive's cafe?
Well, no, not necessarily, but I mean, it does seem like a good option to have a business that we can use as a front to perhaps launder money and
couldn't we just
make things easier to bring things in and out without being questioned by the law?
Couldn't we just reestablish the drug den, convert it into like a tavern that's not just for druggies? Or
I mean, that seems like it would be a lot of money to basically completely turn a warehouse into a bar, as opposed to taking an established.
It's a drug den, actually, isn't it?
Well, it was.
Well, I mean, regardless, it's not a normal business. What I'm proposing is taking over an actual business that exists, and then again we use it to launder money and whatnot, as opposed to essentially building a business. Which you have to spend money in order to prosper and something like that.
Well, I'm broke, so whatever.
I mean, it's an idea. It's not something we have to do now, but maybe something to at least think about.
Something a little less risky. I am pretty beat up.
I think I'm with her on this. I mean, the Hive is a few steps above the Red Sashes, if I'm not mistaken, and if they're there or if they come back for it, I'd really rather not have to fight two ends of an alley, if you know what I mean.
No, sure, I understand it. And again, it doesn't have to be this particular place. I'm just saying, I think the Hive is doing things right. I think that if we followed their model, I think it could be a successful move for us. So I'm not saying take over something that the Hive is already in control of, but just following their rule. And
well, let me ask you guys a leading question. So you took over the drug den, you found all those weapons, and how did you move them? How did you get rid of them?
I took them to Bazobaz.
Okay, so you actually just took them.
I mean, he's got a gang that he needs to keep armed, and would probably give us, a fair price.
Mm-hmm. Okay, that's fine. Just curious. Thank you.
Why didn't you just take them to the Hive?
The Hive was selling them.
Aren't they going to be mad that we took their weapons?
Not if the Red Sashes already paid them for it. They didn't really lose anything.
Yeah, all interesting points, worth questioning for sure. So yeah. Okay, sorry, just for trying to find a name there. All right, buddy. That's my dog. His name is not Buddy. Okay. So yeah, what are you doing? You guys are talking a lot. You're not doing much. Are you're all just like?
I mean, I can understand you guys are hurt and whatnot, but I mean, I'd be interested in making some money or something.
And how? I mean.
And like I said, proposing that we take over a business in general, this could be an option where we make money legitimate on the side, where if we are beat up in regards, for example, the way we are right now, Well,
Do
we
you
can
know
take
anything about
a
running
bit
a
of
business?
downtime. Oh, we don't need to do that. We would own it. The people running it would run it. It's
I'm
not like
not
we would be
following.
selling beers and stuff. We would just own the property. We would utilize it to move.
How are you thinking we would
Acquire.
take over?
such a
Yeah,
place.
like, are we going to kill the people that own it? Are we going to?
We don't need to kill them. Just convince them.
I don't know. Killing seems pretty effective.
But then we would need to find new people to run it.
I'm not against it. I mean, I think an extra source of income could be
I'm not against it
helpful,
either.
but I don't have any good ideas as to how to go about it.
And again, it's something we can just think about. It's not something we necessarily have to do now.
We could also just keep fucking up the red sashes. I mean, they were clearly planning something by gathering all these weapons. We don't know what, and our attack probably slowed it down because now they're short on weapons. They're going to need, if they want to go through with whatever they were planning, they're going to need to get more weapons again.
You could try and infiltrate them.
We do have a lot of red sash outfits now. They're kind of bloody, but
We saw how well I did impersonating them. Sorry again about the box.
the next time you can go in the box.
If somebody else can lift it, sure.
We could take over a laundromat. That would help with the uniforms.
I don't wash my clothes now.
I could
We
run
wouldn't
a
have to.
Hello.
We would own the laundromat.
Mhm.
So, are you guys all having this conversation in the train car, that your rusted out train car?
Probably.
I would think so.
Yeah, and I think you guys are like debating back and forth, and it's been a few days. I imagine like we montage cut that where like some of you are in there, some of you are out. You know, Monica's getting drunk, whatever. Edlin's trying not to kill some hobo in the streets, and you guys are like cutting back in and out of the train car.
He's probably not trying very hard, though.
Yeah, I kind of figured. Edlin's starting to produce ghosts in the city. Yeah, I'm just looking over character sheets to see who I should.
What about acquiring vehicles? Now that we're acquiring land, acquiring vehicles might be something that would help us in the future. And I don't mean just stealing a boat for a job. I mean getting
That's
something
true.
that we could acquire and
You're
use.
talking about spending money to make money.
No. There are other ways to get vehicles.
But you don't want to kill people.
Oh, I'm not against that. This isn't running a business. We can run vehicles all day long. It doesn't take any skill or...
I'm gonna look at Edlin and just kind of like, didn't we just have this conversation?
No, this is completely different. If you kill everyone in a business, then you have to run the business yourself, which
I didn't
defeats
say
the purpose
kill the
of
people, I
operating
said
it.
kill the owners.
Depending on what business we attack, that might be the same thing.
I just think having vehicles that we can rely on a regular basis would be beneficial to us.
Don't we have one?
You do have one.
No, we have a cart. We stole a yacht once, and that was pretty
We had
nice.
to get rid of that.
Yeah, we had to get rid of it because it was too noticeable. But
Well, they were gonna steal it from us anyways.
it would be nice to have a boat.
Maybe a small merchant ship, maybe. Help move goods.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm open to other ideas if anyone else has any.
So I think that while you guys, it's been, we've been montaging cutting this, you guys going in and out of the train car. I think that, you guys have been talking, trying to figure out what's next. Somebody shows up at the train car. And you hear this very rapid, mostly quiet rapping at the door. Like it reads to you almost as like nervous. Who answers the door, if any of you?
I'll do it.
Okay. And you see this scrawny little rat-faced fuck that you've met before. This is Pickett. One of
from the Lamplax.
Yeah, one of Bazo Baz's right-hand men, as it were. And Pickett just kind of like very quickly makes eye contact with you, Cassandra, and then darts his eyes away. Pickett's the kind of guy where his eyes are never in the same place for longer than about a half a second. And he looks up at you. He says, "Hey now, how you doing?" Good. Don't care. So, you guys are making a name. And all due respect, and you can see his face kind of contorts, like he doesn't give two shits about you when he says it. Says, some news. Boss would have words. And he just sort of like reaches up to his ear and he pulls out the half of like an unburned cigarette, because that's always what's above his ear. And he just puts it in his mouth and he tips in an imaginary cap and like spins on his heel to walk away.
Why is it that every time he comes to visit, I just want to hit him?
He's
a little shit.
Basil Baz.
I never liked Pickett.
Yeah, so seems like Bazo Baz would have words with you.
Good.
He's always got good jobs.
Now, did you tell him where you got the guns, the weapons?
Probably that we acquired new turf at very least, right?
I mean, that's up to you.
I don't think we would have specified. Like, more like they fell off a truck, kind of.
So you would actively go out of your way and not tell him that you basically took it from the Sashes? Because you know that the Sashes are at war with the Lamplax, so... Excuse me.
I'm not sure. I mean...
It's up to you. I'm not saying you have to. I'm just curious, for fictional reasons.
I don't know, I guess it would be kind of... Because he'd probably find out that, anyway, that, the Red Sashes lost some turf, and... So I think it would be I probably wouldn't hide it, but... just say I guess I would have said... we took over a drug den that was owned by the Red Sashes and didn't find any drugs, but did find a lot of weapons and wondered if you're interested.
Okay. Yeah, and I mean, obviously, hearing that you took turf from the Red Sashes brings him no small amount of joy. Yeah. Okay. I was just curious about that interaction. So, do you head over to see Bazo? Do you wait? Do you all go? Like, what? How does that pan out?
I'll go.
I don't see why we wouldn't all go.
Yeah, I'd say we could turn this into a family event.
Family affair. All right.
If he has words, he probably has jobs, so...
Yeah. So we kind of cut to you guys outside of the warehouse where you know that the Lamplax and specifically Bazo spends most of his time. Oh, nice. I see. Okay. Yeah, and so you head inside, and you see that think it's. I might have to fix that. But you see that there's a number of lampblacks in here. A lot of them are like cleaning the weapons. You see that there's quite a bit of work going on. You're invited in right away. They don't have a problem with you. You see that some of them have like files, like if there were serial numbers, they're filing them away, kind of thing. They're cleaning the weapons and making them look like they belong to the lampblacks, kind of thing. They probably spent some time doing this. And much as you've seen before, you see that like rickety staircase that heads up to the office on the second floor, and Pickett, of course, is standing right outside. And you feel all the eyes on you as you kind of walk in. Nobody says anything, though. You head upstairs, and Pickett doesn't seem to acknowledge. Like, that he sees you. He's not blind, but he just doesn't care. He doesn't acknowledge you. And he just kind of uses the heel of his boot to, like, knock against the door. And there's, like, a brief pause. And, actually, I think there's probably a pause for a minute or two. And you're kind of standing on that landing. And, the door opens up. And you see a couple things. Of course, you see Bazo Baz, and he's actually come out from behind his large desk, which is maybe interesting to you. But what's definitely interesting is you see Henner, who is basically Bazo's muscle, just this huge beast of a man. And you see a woman, kind of scrawny looking, short blonde hair, pretty clean, but wearing like simple clothes, maybe just like a cloak. And her eyebrow raises at seeing all of you, and she looks up at Henner, and she kind of gives him this warm smile, and Henner seems to blush for a moment, but then realizes that all of you are standing there and very quickly kind of stifles it. And she just like looks back and looks at all of you. She looks back at Bazo, who's still standing in the room, and Bazo doesn't quite look cowed per se, but there's like a respect that you read between the two of them very clearly. And Bazo kind of steps forward and he kisses her on the cheek, and he whispers something quietly in her ear, and she kind of smiles, and she turns back. And you're definitely reading that, one, she's definitely reading all of you. Like, she's very clearly aware of you. She's not trying to hide it at all. And there's maybe not a hostility there, but there's definitely a tension that's being created by her with all of you there. And Pickett kind of gives her this wave, and Henner gives her like this goofy wave as she heads down the stairs. And as the camera kind of watches her go down, she disappears out through the doors, and you see all of the people downstairs who are cleaning and whatever their weapons are just watching her leave. And as the camera cuts back to Bazo's office, we see that he's replaced himself back in his seat. He's poured himself a glass of his fine whiskey, and he's just waiting for you to come in.
As she gets to the bottom of the stairs, I turn to Bazo and go, "Nice work." Give him a wink.
And Bazo doesn't respond. There's a moment, he's got his big whiskey in his hand, and he kind of swirls it. "You should probably have a seat." And he's kind of serious. And I assume all of you step in.
Yeah.
And as before, there's only 2 seats in here. Henner kind of steps back and leans on this, big file cabinet in the room. And Bazo is directing most of this at you, Edlin. The two of you have a relationship.
And I take the chair that I know to be more comfortable
okay.
than being here before. I know one of them is a little too lumpy. Like, the cushion is really cheap, but one of them is still pretty nice.
Right. Yeah. Which of you takes the other seat, if any of you?
Monocle, stay standing.
I'll take a seat.
Okay. So Razor, Cassandra, you're left standing.
No, I'm sitting on the edge of his desk.
Okay. He definitely would raise an eyebrow at that action, but he maybe wouldn't say anything. And again, Edlin, kind of pointing at you, he says, "Do you know who that is?"
No, but wouldn't mind getting to know it better.
And he
Neither
just
would I.
he takes like a small swig, and as he's taking it, there's like a small smile that crosses his face. But by the time the glass leaves his lips and hits the table again, he's not smiling anymore. He says, "No, you wouldn't. Dangerous. Trouble, that one is."
She looks awfully mousy to me.
Yeah. It's a good disguise, isn't it? Good friend to have. The worst of enemies. Which is why I requested your presence here. That, my friends, is Sarah. One of, if not the most dangerous arms dealer in all of Duskfall. And it seems you've, crunched up her panties quite a bit.
Interesting.
Bully for her then.
Yeah.
If she comes back, I can fix it.
I can help her untwist them.
And he kind of like looks at all of you. He's just, and I think like, Henner is reading something in Bazo's face that you're not. And he kind of like looks away, and Bazo says, "So you've come into a little bit of coin, a little bit of turf, and suddenly it's all games to you. I mean, we all play the game, I know, but..." And he just sort of crosses his arms. He says, "Maybe you need to tell me a bit more of a story. I know you got the weapons from the Lampblacks, and I think when you say that, Henner, like, his whole face lights up in a smile, like, just the idea of hurting the
I
sashes."
thought we got them from the red sashes.
You did. I misspoke. Shut up.
Okay.
So, Henner, like, lights up at the idea of the sashes getting hit, and Bazo continues. "You got your turf. How did you know about the weapons?"
We watched them. We didn't just hit the place blind, mostly.
Not as dumb as I thought then. Kind of like smiles at you, Monica, jovially, like he's not trying to intentionally insult you.
She smiles back.
He says, "So, do you know where they were getting the weapons? And as a supplement to that question, do you think it's odd that I just had one of Duskfall's most notorious arms dealers in my office?"
Yeah, we know where they. Well, yeah, we know where they were getting their weapons, and after a brief encounter, they didn't seem to mind what happened to the weapons after they left that particular establishment.
You see, Edlin, friend, there's a puzzle going on here, and I don't think you have nearly all the pieces to put it together. So let me help you out. It seems,
Fucking hate puzzles.
as do I, but sometimes it's a useful metaphor. It seems that Sarah was selling those weapons to the Hive. They were working in some sort of, partnership. The Hive was bringing them in. She was helping with the deals. That's what she does. Then the Hive was selling them to the Red Sashes. I think maybe you've put most of this together by now. But
Sure.
I think you missed the purpose here. The Hive doesn't give two shits about the Sashes. Couldn't care less. Quite frankly, I wouldn't put it past them to assume that the Hive was trying to get them all killed. You see, it's a long, troubled tale, but the Hive wants revenge against the Crows. You see, the Crows are at war with myself, kind of points around the warehouse, and the Sashes. Are you starting to put it together now?
I'm confused.
I can
Not
see
really.
Hive's trying to tip the scale.
that. Ah, Edlin, my friend. Of course, you're the one who figures it out. See, if
why
the
we
Red
keep it.
Sashes wipe out the Crows, then it's just the Hive gets what they want, Red Sashes get what they want, makes them stronger in their fight against me. I need friends right now. I don't need people meddling in such a way that's going to cause me more harm. Do you see? Do you see how this is affecting me? And like I think Henner sort of steps out of the shadow a little bit with his massive arms crossed and just is trying to look as intimidating possible, which is not hard for him.
I see Henna's got 2 new swords, which shows how this is affecting you.
Do remember, Edlin. He's never needed weapons to do his job before. And like and Henner's just all teeth. He's grinning ear to ear.
Monica's kind of got her arms crossed over her chest, but she kind of raises one kind of to bring attention to her. I'm still not tracking. Can you just spell it out what you want us to do or not do?
Well, honestly, I was just hoping we could have like a nice conversation where you don't fuck me repeatedly. Are you trying to get me killed? Look, I understand how the game works. Eventually you're going to come after me. That's how this usually goes. There's a reason that I sit at this desk and you're in that shitty train car. I want us to be friends for as long as we can. And you not trying to arm my enemies and fuck with other gangs. You just made a royal mess of this. I'm happy as horse shit that you got your turf. Congratulations. But maybe in the future, if you could just think a little bit.
Thinking's not what I do, honey.
Well, I think if I can interlude, maybe if the Hive and yourself needed to get something done, you could have come to someone a little more competent than the Red Sashes. I believe we even warned them that the Red Sashes weren't competent enough to do things. That's why we tried to originally take their business.
Well, look, no, apparently you're not seeing the whole picture, friend. The Red Sashes were doing exactly what the Hive wanted them to do. They weren't incompetent at all. The Hive was arming them. They were going to kill the Crows. This was never about smuggling. Red Sashes couldn't care less.
But it didn't work, because they were too incompetent. They couldn't stop us. They were supposed to defeat the Crows. If you had come to us with this mission, we could have accomplished that.
And he just even Henner looks frustrated, and Bazo just shakes his head.
So why don't we just go beat up a few crows and everything's good?
Fuck all, Edlin. What the fuck is wrong with your friends? I don't want the crows hurt. I want them fine. I don't... If the Crows are hurt, that puts me against the Sashes. I don't want that. A 3-way war is easier than 2. I don't want... Gee Christ. He just, shakes his head. And he's like, Edlin, he's, staring at you like, would you help here?
I pull out one of my knives and start picking dirt from my fingernails. And,
or dried blood, probably.
Dried blood, yeah, something. Some type of gunk. And I say, well, Bazza, you know I like you. And I too want to keep this friendship for as long as possible, but fuck the Red Sashes and fuck the Crows.
Yes, absolutely, fuck them. Just don't fuck them to death.
Well, if we eliminate them both.
He says, Dear heart, you are nowhere near that yet. I've got considerably more resources and I haven't bit the bullet on that yet. Do you know why? Because it'll wipe out half of my crew. There's 5 of you? I think you overestimate yourselves.
How about we make them focus on each other?
And he just looks exasperated. He's like, look, I don't really care what you do, as long as it's not putting me or my people in the line of fire directly. Skirmishes, scuffles, these things happen. It's fine. But if you start all-out war, you and I are going to have words.
We just had a lot of words, and I'm just more confused.
Oh, honey.
Bazo, I think you've gotten a bit too comfortable with this current balance. Not much is changing. It's been the Red Sashes, the Crows, the Lamplacks for years and years. They've been fighting each other. No one's made any progress. I think it's time to change that. someone needs to step up and grow a pair of balls, take down one of these other groups.
And, like, Bazo seems completely unfazed by this. Henner, on the other hand, Henner, well, I don't know. No, I don't think we need a roll for this. Like, Henner looks posed for violence. Like, you're insulting Bazo to his face. You're saying that he's weak. You're saying he has no balls. Henner's not taken this very well. But Bazo still clearly has control of the situation. And Bazo just sort of like leans back in his chair. He says, "Oh, my boy. Let's not pretend like you know me and the blood I had to shed to get where I am."
Why'd you stop? Shedding blood, that is.
Who says I have? Maybe I'm just better and more quiet about it than you. Wars take time, boy. Skirmishes, taking turf, please. Anybody can do that. I could do it in my sleep. This is the long game now. Every move counts. You would do well to remember that. If you want to go after the Crows or the Red Sashes, be my fucking guest. Be aware, if you draw me in a way that I don't appreciate, let's just say our friendship might be coming very close to an end.
Maybe I'm missing something. But didn't he tell you we got the weapons from the Red Sashes? You were peachy keen with taking them still.
I also didn't know what you did to get them. Who you fucked and how that fucked me. Sometimes that takes time to figure out, Go. I'll be more careful with my dealings with you in the future. So, yeah, like, Bazo's basically done. Like, he's gotten across what he wanted to get across. You're still all there. Like, how do you, like, what's your play? And everybody goes silent.
Except the bird.
I'm gonna be very honest, being game 3 and all the names that are dropping, I am so honestly fucking confused.
Oh,
Monica's the
Mel,
muscle.
I'm so
Same guy.
sorry.
This is the same guy from the first game that you were with us with.
Yeah, but that was
Right.
so long ago. Yeah, Mel, I'm so sorry. I wish
So
you'd said
that's why
something.
I'm trying to clarify, but Monica's muscle, so it doesn't much matter.
Well,
so
that's
that's why
also
I'm not
true.
saying anything.
But yeah, but Mel, it's important to you, the player, that you know what's going on as well, though. Yeah, like, Bazo is the leader of the Lampblacks, who are at war with two other gangs called the Crows and the Red Sashes. Obviously,
That's new. Crows are new to me.
right. There was actually a piece in Crowsfoot, which is basically where all of these gangs operate. There was sort of a truce between them, which maybe some of you also forgot. But the truce was recently, not in the not too distant past, actually broken. The former leader of the Crows, who does have a name, and I will find that for you in a moment. The former leader of the Crows was murdered. The suspicion falls on the new leader of the Crows, interestingly.
Rorik was the old leader.
It was. Well done, yes. Rorik was the old leader. Rorik was killed. And the new leader took over. And her name is...
Lissa.
Yes, it is. Damn, Conrad. Well done. Rorik's body was lost during his murder. It fell into a canal. And Lissa is the new leader of the Crows. So there was a tentative peace between Bazo and Rorik and what's-her-nuts from the Red Sashes.
Mylera Clev.
Damn. God damn.
I found my notes file.
Oh, good. Well done. Yeah, Mylera Clev, who is the leader of the Red Sashes. And they had sort of a tentative peace. When Rorik was killed, everything fell into complete chaos. So basically what's happening is Bazo's pissed because without realizing it, you kind of fucked him. And it's put him on edge. Sorry, coughing. I'm like that Pokemon. Isn't there a Pokemon called coughing? Anyway.
Yes.
Yeah, so the job you did was maybe well done, but it's had some ramifications. Does that make sense? Are you clear now?
Yeah, clearer, but it just kind of doesn't matter what job we do. We're gonna step on somebody's toes. We're raising our own reps. So
yes, welcome to Duskwall. Now you're getting it.
So he can go fuck himself, because I want to punch his squirrely ass little. Never mind. Monica will bite her tongue as she walks out the door.
Okay. Are you all following suit?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we're done here.
Okay. Cool. Excuse me. So, yeah. So you guys got a little. I mean, you got some information. Got a little. You're a little clearer on what's going on now. Yeah. So, what do you do? Like, what do you have plans? Like, how does that play out?
I'm assuming we get back to the cart first, or at least the second bit of turf.
Yeah, go to whatever turf is closest, so we can talk over this in private.
Okay. So yeah, we cut to wherever you guys go.
Fuck him. Seriously? Fuck him. He's acting like he's our boss. He's not our boss. Fuck him. Fuck him. Fuck the sashes. That's all I got to say on it. He sends that little rat-faced bastard over here again. I'm gonna hang him from the rafters. Does the cart have rafters? She looks up.
I think he does make a bit of a point. I mean, we are a smaller group. We are going to need help with our endeavors in order to strengthen our own crew, our own turf. And I think obviously we have to ally with someone. If Bazabaz is the one that we're going to be dealing with, then we need to make sure that if he's going to be our ally, that we keep him happy. He doesn't seem to care much about the crows or the red sashes, but he doesn't want us to take on, more or less bring the conflict where it points to him. So I think someone touched on it even. If we were to pose as the red sashes and hit the crows and just more or less keep them occupied on one another, it keeps Bazobaz out of it. It keeps us out of it. And they just weaken each other, which in turn strengthens our own hold. No? Yes?
I like it.
Sure.
We haven't really done much to the crows yet. Probably not too big on their radar, so I guess the radar might not exist. But
And like we've already established, we have a lot of red sash uniforms.
And a
Maybe
lot
we
of
take a trip.
balls. Have any of you considered perhaps recruiting? We can recruit people to our gang, right?
There is technically a mechanic for it. Yeah, you can't necessarily just recruit a gang, but there is a way to.
Well, not a whole gang, but we can recruit new people to our gang, right?
Right, but yeah, like I said, there's still a mechanism for it. I will look for it. I think it's something you do when your crew levels up.
Hey, Jace.
Oh.
Hi.
You sound kind of weird.
You sound tired.
Let's
Especially fallen snow and unplowed roads. It was a harrowing drive home, if I had to assume.
Harrowing? Not exactly, but the grannies doing 30 and the 65 for most of my trip home pissed me off.
Okay. Sorry about that.
His mic is also on his head.
That too.
There we go. Let's see. Sorry, Gwen. I'm trying to find an answer to your question.
I mean, we don't have to do that now, but like.
No, I know, but yeah, you have to spend 2 upgrades, 2 crew upgrades, which you get from like leveling up the crew. Basically, you can spend 2 upgrades and create either a gang or an expert.
Okay.
But like if you have those 2 upgrades, you can create a gang of adepts, which are like scholars, tinkerers, occultists, and chemists. Rooks, which are con artists, spies, and socialites. Rovers, which are sailors, carriage drivers, and deathland scavengers. Skulks, which are scouts, infiltrators, and thieves. Or thugs, killers, brawlers, and roustabouts. So yeah, there is a mechanism for creating a gang.
Okay.
But we could cut back to you guys at the train car if you'd like. Maybe that's where Gunny is.
Okay.
I mean, unless you don't want to be there, Gunny, that's up to you. Like,
No, I'm absolutely there. I my character sheet only just loaded, so I got confused for a second.
Okay. Sorry, but yeah, what Razor was suggesting, maybe you guys, well, I guess all of you had kind of discussed maybe dressing up as the Red Sashes and hitting the crows. So yeah, what's the plan?
I mean, it could be something simple. We can wait for the crows to do something. Maybe they're delivering something. Maybe they're moving out. We ambushed them. Leave a little message. Or very similar to our last mission. We hit a drug lab, again held by the crows. Leave a message from the Red Sashes. Oh, we were kind of discussing about taking a vehicle as well. Maybe they're shipping some cargo. We take the boat for ourselves and leave a message that it was from the Red Sashes.
So, what
I like the idea of the Red Sashes taking a boat from the crows. It gets us a boat.
Well,
antagonized.
But when we're seen with the boat afterwards.
Well, we paint it.
Yeah.
Paint it. We detail it.
So here's something useful for you that you would know. The crows technically claim all of Crowsfoot as their turf. Everyone in the district pays up the chain to them. They typically, like, you probably know that their headquarters is an abandoned city watchtower in Crowsfoot. But you also would know that they operate a number of gambling dens and extortion rackets at the docks. So they have gambling dens in Crowsfoot and extortion rackets at the docks. You would maybe also know that the extortion rackets at the dock involve boats.
Yeah, all right. So if we kind of interfere with their extortion racket, as the Red Sashes, then we cut off a source of income from them, weaken their hold in the docks, and perhaps acquire a boat.
Sounds good.
I like it.
I like the idea of having a boat. Always kind of wanted one.
Then we could get hose.
You seem like the sailor type.
Boat and hose.
So the real question is, how do we frame them and make it look good? Also, hi everybody.
Hello.
Hello.
Okay. Huh. Well, that's weird.
Well, how about this? We're not actually trying to take over their property other than the boat itself. I had a conversation with a friend of mine. What was his name again? Cobb Booker. And he was that arsonist that I knew. We met with him back in that Iron Hook prison. We were trying to get explosives from him before. Maybe we deliver something, almost as a peace offering from the Red Sashes. We leave, the peace offering explodes, we take the boat. It's less dangerous for us, and it leaves a pretty clear message.
Okay.
Maybe.
I wouldn't mind blowing something up.
I'm a little disappointed I won't get to hit anything, but sure.
Well, some of you said you were a bit beaten up, so I think this leaves us out of it physically.
I mean, I can still blow things up. I'm good at blowing things up with lightning.
Yeah, but that's kind of like your signature move right now. People might put two and two together. The same lightning storm that took out the Red Sashes drug den also took out the Crows thing. They're not going to think it's the Red Sashes anymore.
I have rituals now.
We also need to make sure to leave witnesses that will say it's Red Sashes, not just kill them all.
But I like killing them.
Yeah, because if you kill everyone, there will be no one to pass the message on that it was the Red Sashes.
Did explosions leave wounded if we're
But
careful?
that's the thing, though. We deliver this as a peace offering from the Red Sashes. We tell them we're delivering this. Go tell your leader we want to make amends. One of them leaves to go tell the leader. We leave. The package explodes. So there is a person left alive. There is someone that's sending a message.
That's assuming they go right then and there. I mean, we're making a lot of assumptions that they're going to take us at our word without wanting to inspect what we're going to leave, without questioning us a little more. It leaves a lot to chance that I'm not exactly comfortable with.
All right, so we want to. I'll make sure I got this right. We want to piss off the Crows and make them think we're the Red Sashes, yes?
Yes.
Yeah.
We always.
So, what about just stealing the boat while dressed as Red Sashes and making a getaway? Leave lots of witnesses.
I think part of the intention is to weaken the Crows as well. It's not just to antagonize them. Very similar to the way we just hit the Red Sashes. We want to hit the Crows as well, but not point them in our direction. We want to keep the Crows and the Red Sashes focused on one another. So whereas taking the boat is a plan, part of the plan, weakening the Crows is also a bit vital to the ultimate outcome of everything.
Okay.
Which would be the elimination of both the Crows and the Red Sashes.
Well, we can only steal one boat. How many do they have? Do we know that?
That's a good question. You could try to find out.
Yeah, I think I'm going to spend some time at the docks finding out how many boats they have.
Okay. All right.
That's my part in this plan.
Yeah, you can totally gather information that way. So why don't you roll me survey? Yeah, survey sounds about right.
All right.
Let's say risky standard. Just this doesn't matter so much. Well, no, I guess it would because you're plotting a job. So let's say, well, we'll say risky standard, and then you could push yourself for 2 stress. Is anyone assisting in this operation in helping him survey?
I don't think I have very good survey. So.
I have a 1
will.
dot in survey. I'm not that great.
I've got 1 in survey too, I think, maybe.
I have nothing.
I mean, one of you could help him and take a stress and give him an additional die if you wanted.
I'll help him and take stress. Does it take 2 stress for that?
No, you take 1 stress.
Or
and
just
help
1,
someone
okay.
else. Yeah.
2 to push yourself. Okay. So yeah, I'll take a stress to give him an extra die and help him out.
Thank you kindly.
Okay, so you'll get an additional die.
Nice.
I don't know if there's a devil's bargain here. Oh, you rolled. Okay. Wow.
I didn't think there would be one, so
Yeah. I was debating, but nothing was really coming to mind. So yeah, you are successful. What you find out is they actually have a number of boats. They, like I said, they have an extortion racket at the docks, and they have a number of. They're small boats. They're not, they're not necessarily cargo vessels. Like you could presumably take some cargo on them, but it's there's mostly just a number of small boats for navigating the canals and the channel, that kind of thing, to move around. They can use them to get out to the open ocean, but that's always dangerous. But yeah, they actually have a number of smaller boats.
oh, okay.
Would it be less than a dozen? Like,
I imagine so, yeah.
so maybe we take a boat and blow up the other boats.
I like that.
That's a much better idea than trying to send a. I wouldn't take a package to one of you if some random guy we were at war with said it was a peace offering. I can't imagine they would.
Yeah, I say
Especially if the crows have heard about the Red Sashes trying to arm themselves to attack, they're not going to buy a peace offering, I don't think. Or it'll be a much harder sell than just, like... If the crows already think the Red Sashes are trying to come after them, and then we hit the Red Sashes to take their weapons, so now the Red Sashes can't do what they were going to do before, it might make sense from the crows' perspectives that it would be the Red Sashes who then went after their boats with explosives rather than whatever their previous target was with weapons.
Can anybody actually sail a boat?
I'm very good at operating vehicles.
Okay.
And now, just to keep in mind, like we could move this in a couple different directions. This job is hitting it's several birds with one stone. If you take, I would say, if you take a couple of their boats and just like you would need to probably take a couple of them. But if you take like a couple boats, you could destroy the rest. I don't care what happens to those. You would be acquiring more turf, because if you look on your smuggler's crew sheet. The one directly below layer is fleet. Your cohorts have their own vehicles. You don't have cohorts yet, but I would say fictionally, if you had it, once you acquired cohorts, you would have a fleet. There's the other way to do that is inside out. So like, once you have, like if you take it now, once you have cohorts, they'll have their own vehicles anyway. So I guess it doesn't matter what I just said. Ignore me.
Is anyone else good at piloting vehicles?
Is that finesse?
That's finesse.
No.
That wouldn't be me. I mean, I have 1 in that, but...
Well, that's better than me.
Yeah, that's why I said something. I can't.
Well,
Nope.
you can, just a good chance we'll be bad at it.
Yeah, I have 1
Well-
in it, but...
Well, here's the thing. Even if one of you have minimal skills at it, you guys could take that, maybe the majority of you take that ship, and I run as a decoy. If they're going to get chased, I kind of cut them off. I try to get them to chase me.
Hmm.
and then I think it might be a little easier for me to escape than it would for you guys. But of course, we're planning on destroying the rest of their ships anyway, so it's not like they'd be able to give a very good chase.
Well, that's what we should start with, I think. This is all kind of moot. It doesn't matter if we can get the boat away if we're going to get caught by 10 more of them. How are we going to blow up the boats? I mean, I can provide powder. That's easy.
Isn't
We
there
plant
a
explosives,
ritual?
we set a trigger.
Sean, wasn't there a ritual where I could call a Leviathan?
Sorry, I'm trying to read something, but yes, let me find the rituals page. I don't know if you can call a Leviathan. That's a bit
There was something about
excessive.
opening a gate to call a Leviathan or some shit that you
Okay, well, let me find the
Summoning
rituals.
one and controlling one is a little different than one of them.
Well, I don't think it is completely summoned one. I think you open
Okay,
a
let's
gate
see.
and,
So the sample rituals was Portal to the Depths, I think is what you're referencing.
yes.
This ancient song calls upon the power of the Leviathans to open a small gateway to the Great Void Sea, somewhere within a few blocks of the ritual site. Anything caught near the portal is swamped by cold black water and drawn with hideous strength into the abyss. Oh, dear God. This ritual is very dangerous, involving arcane contact with a Leviathan's demonic power, a desperate action roll. The caster takes 6 stress and ticks a 4-segment progress clock called Seduced by the Leviathan Song.
Whoa.
I could totally do that. It would cause me a trauma, but
Well, you could
This
still
sounds like a very bad idea.
you could still roll to resist.
can I roll to resist the trauma or the
No.
stress?
Yes.
Because I've only got 4 stress.
Hold on, let me see. Let me read that again. The caster takes 6 stress. Oh, I see.
I'd take a trauma.
I mean, I could take half that stress, become invisible, and plant explosives on the boats. It could be that simple.
Yeah, but you don't love the image of something like dragging these boats.
I would take a trauma.
Like,
to
that's
do
why
this.
I was reading it and I was like, oh shit, just that image of those boats getting ripped into the fucking canals
Wait.
through a portal to the fucking void sea. That's
I would take
Go
a
for it.
trauma for that.
Join the trauma
because
club.
That's that's a beautiful image there.
Oh, so
yeah,
if you wanted to, okay, yeah. If you begin with one ritual already learned, like if
That's
this is
the
the
one I would learn. Yeah,
well, it's up to you. You tell me, but yeah, you could.
I'd totally do that if you guys are okay with letting me.
So long as I'm nowhere near the damn thing, I don't see why not.
Now, I mean, is that going to suck the ships into that?
Yes,
Yes.
and the people on board, and maybe some kids on the beach. Like it's the Leviathans are disgustingly powerful, and yeah, it's gonna be a scene.
You would need to do that while we're sailing
Out to
away.
sea, yeah.
Otherwise, we don't want all the ships destroyed. We want to take
Yeah.
a few.
That's what I mean. Like, we get away with our ships, and then I turn around, and, like, behind us, we fuck shit up.
And we tried to outrun the Leviathan thing?
I don't really.
I
It's a
imagine
gate. I'm sure it's
it's a gate.
stationary.
Like, we're on the other side, I'm imagining, and I summon it so it sucks them in and not us. I mean, there's got to be a way that I can make this happen
But-
and not affect me.
Yeah.
It's a
No.
I mean, it's well.
I mean, I'm taking stress
Right,
to keep
right,
this
no.
from fucking me up.
Yeah, yes and no. It won't affect you physically. You're going to take 6 stress. We're going to start a progress clock. Like, it's still bad news for you. But if anyone's there with a boat, you're going to have to make desperate rolls to navigate out of getting sucked. I mean, it's a black hole under the water. Like,
I don't think we're talking gate as in like it faces one way and does a cone effect. We're talking like a whirlpool kind of effect.
Yes. No, that's literally what I was imagining in my head. But yes. Yeah,
So
it's gonna
I mean,
be-
unless we're already well the fuck away and you have some hella distance on this, There's no way I'm gonna be on a goddamn boat in that goddamn water while you do this.
I mean, you could always leave me behind on the beach, and I could,
Well,
fuck shit up from there when you guys are far enough away.
I mean, if I'm the only one on the boat, I'll take the risk.
I think 2 major magic rituals involving the red sashes in rapid succession is going to make someone ask a question.
This is something I've never done before, though.
Had you done the lightning before?
The thing is, the
Yeah.
crows wouldn't have seen this.
Crows would
If we were
never
hitting
have
the red
seen this.
sashes, if we were hitting the red sashes again, I would understand them maybe putting a connection together. But yeah, the
It's
crows
fair.
have never seen anything like that.
This is something I don't think anybody in this city has probably seen before. This is pretty nasty shit. They probably don't.
Like I
Would
said,
never consider I would be strong enough to do this.
So what do you
I'll
want us to
definitely
do?
take one of the
Stay on the
boats.
beach and
I'll
defend
risk it.
her? Or?
That's what I was thinking. Yeah, if she's got to do a ritual, I can't imagine that's super quick.
I mean, she could call upon it and kind of have it come at a point like, we could like cut that so that like she's somewhere lit, like surrounded by candles doing this ritual at, and maybe there's like a delay or something, but yeah, it doesn't have to be immediate.
Okay. So,
I'll just give you guys time to get the fuck away.
I'm useless on the boat, but I can delay your pursuit. And then she can stop it cold.
And then I get to hit something. We all know I'm not the brains. I know I'm not the brain. I'm the muscle.
So we are just taking one boat then, right?
And I'm the one that fucks shit up.
It's a start.
Yeah,
Hey.
If you sink that many, one going missing, I don't think anyone would notice. If all of a sudden 3 or 4 aren't accounted for in the wreckage.
Well, I think what
Assuming
I'd
there
like
is
to do is maybe take a trip to the docks area and see if I can secure at least access to one of the ships. I imagine they're not sailboats, so I would need to ensure we have keys and that it's easily accessible to the sea for an escape. And obviously we want one of the better ones, so
Okay.
I think that's going to require me to be on the ground to do that.
Okay. All right. Well, would you guys be cool with taking a break now? I know it's a little early.
Yeah, I have to go to the bathroom.
Sure.
real bad.
Yeah. So let's take our break. We'll meet back here at like 10 till, give or take.
Present.
All
Present.
right. So, we left as I was cutting John off. So you want to head down to the docks to make easy access to one of the boats.
Yes.
Okay. All right. So, how do you do that? Like, what is your process?
Well, I'm gonna head down to the docks. Now, when we say docks, is this just like their own private dock? Where it's
No.
nothing but their boats and...
No. Their
Okay,
boats,
so
like, generally, I think that their boats are... that's a good question. Sorry, now I'm thinking. I guess this is something that should have occurred to me sooner. Because I mean, when the boats are not in use, I'm wondering if they would probably keep the boats kind of. I'll ping on the map here, kind of like at the corner of the docks in Crowsfoot. Like that's where they would probably keep them when they're not all in use.
okay.
I think it's probably safe to assume a couple of them are probably used, in use most of the time. But
Well, what I'd like to do, since Gunny was already there and kind of pointed us out, well, more or less knows where they're all at, I'd like to take him with us to kind of, for him to point out which ones belong to the crows specifically. Once we've identified which ones belong to the crows, I'm going to take a closer look. So I'll probably enter the Ghost Veil and enter one of the boats and see if I could take keys or whatever it is that we would need to actually take it in the long run.
I will absolutely go with you.
yeah, and you don't need to roll Gunny because you were already down here checking out the boats, so that's not an issue for you.
But I definitely want to take a good boat. I don't want to take one of the lesser pindly ones. I mean, if they're all the same, they're all the same. That's great, but
Am I still opening the portal to hell, basically?
not yet.
Not yet.
This is all I'm doing right now is seeing, obviously, which boat I'd like to ultimately take, and if I can gain access to it already. Like maybe get keys ready, so when we hit this place, it's a simple get on the boat, start it up, kill whoever's on board, and take off kind of thing.
Yeah, makes sense.
So, Razor, you're gonna head down and you're gonna try to steal some shit.
Yes.
So, and you said you're gonna enter the Ghost Veil.
Yeah, once it's pointed out, once I get down onto the I guess the lower area towards the docks, I'm going to use the Ghost Veil to get onto the boat. Well, I mean, if they're keeping the keys, if there's a place where I don't know the correct terminology.
I feel like
ship shack or something.
Well, I feel like what it would be is that each boat would sort of have like a quote unquote captain, and they would be in charge of keeping the keys.
Okay.
So it wouldn't be hard for you because you could just watch the boats with Gunny's help, and you could see the goings on, the comings and goings of the crows. But you would need to, let's say, call it finesse them away from one of these crows, or however you'd like to do that.
Well, I think what I'd like to do is again, maybe watch one of the ships return so I can see who the captain is.
Yeah, no, I'm saying that's fine.
And then follow him, maybe see where he goes, where he lives, so that I would have easy access again to the keys.
Well, he's gonna have the keys, and he will. Once returning from work, they will head. A number of crows will head into Crowsfoot, and they will head to a tavern to enjoy, enjoy the end of the day, as it were. Throw back a couple ales.
Oh shit! I work in the gross. But wait,
You don't work in a tavern, though.
no,
Not strictly
no,
speaking.
I work in cat crawling. No, never mind. I actually work near the docks. Are we fucking the docks up? Because I kind of work there.
So yeah, you're able to follow this
I
guy.
thought you were looking for a new place to work anyway.
That's also true.
Oh, true.
So you're following this guy into a tavern after work. I mean, unless you want to try to follow him elsewhere, but you know that's the first stop.
Yeah, that's perfectly fine, because if he waters himself down, he's going to have to deposit that fluid somewhere. Guys don't go to the bathroom together, so he's going to go to the bathroom by himself. I'm going to meet him in there. I'm going to gut him like a fucking fish, and then I'm going to walk out invisible with his keys.
Okay, so you're gonna follow him into the piss pot.
I'm just going to point out that nobody is making you gut anyone like a fish this time. If you still didn't want to be a killer.
I suppose I could try to pickpocket him.
You could do that too, but if you want to,
Yeah.
you could either roll prowl to ambush to try to kill him, or you could finesse to try to pick his pockets.
I'll try to pick this guy's pocket. Oh.
Okay, so we'll say controlled because he's drunk. You're not, and still risky. I mean, you're in a semi-public place, even if you follow him into the bathroom. Like, he's drunk, but you know he's also a scoundrel, so there's a risk in there.
So not controlled, risky.
Oh yeah. Sorry, risky. Well, I don't know what's fair.
Risky, great, controlled, standard. Like if it might be
I would say
controlled,
risky.
just go for the keys, but it might be risky to go for the keys and more.
Okay, so we'll say risky with great effect.
Okay. Yeah, I would say, because if I'm in the bathroom taking a piss and some guy walked up behind me, I don't care if he's trying to pick my pocket or not. I'm going to be concerned about what he's doing. So he's probably looking over his shoulder regardless.
Okay, so risky, great effect.
Risky, great.
You could stress yourself for an additional die.
You know what? I have no stress, so I'm going to do that.
Can I help him out just by keeping people out of the bathroom? I mean, if we went together, I'm assuming I didn't just abandon him when he started tracking this guy.
Okay. How are you doing that, though? Like, how are you...
If you stand outside and say, you don't want to go in there, my friend's taking a huge shit right now. It's really smelly.
I mean, that would probably do the trick. I'm just picturing, like, if you're standing outside of the door with your arms crossed, people are going to get suspicious.
No, nothing like that. But if I see someone try and go into the bathroom, I may... Dude, you don't want to do that. The smell in there is so far beyond rank, even I don't want to go in there, and I'm from the Dagger Isles.
Okay. Yeah, all right. So you can take a stress and give him an extra die. That puts you up to 4. I'm guessing you don't want to hear a devil's bargain because you're already at 4 dice.
This is actually 5 dice, so I think it's 5.
Well, how is it 5? Hang on.
I have 3 dots, and then I'm taking a stress, and then he's taking a stress.
Oh, so you're taking 2 stress to give yourself an additional die?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can do that. Yeah, so that's 5 dice. Oh shit!
Couple 6s in there.
So that's a crit. Fuck. So we said risky, great effect.
So I get the keys, and I get to add coin too.
Yes,
I took everything.
if that's no joke. That's seriously what happens.
Nice.
Unless you want me to try to come up with something else in terms of the
No,
crit.
that's good. That's pretty good.
Yeah, so you'll steal
Take everything on him.
You'll steal keys and you'll steal 1 coin worth of coin, right? So you'll take 1
Nice.
coin plus I feel like I should give you something else for it. What is something else you could get?
Maybe a note that has instructions on where their boats are going to be going next.
No, but
Dude's next shipment.
No, I keep
Or
thinking
his
about.
ID. I could pose as him. In the
They don't
future.
have IDs in Duskwall.
Eh.
Look, I'm a criminal. Here's my ID. We'll just say the coin for now. If I come up with something later, I'll let you know.
Sure. Yeah, that's good enough.
And he has no idea.
Yeah, he didn't
He's-
notice. I'm
he's-
just gonna stroll on out.
Okay. All right.
I'm gonna finish my drink and everything.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So you're not going to Ace Ventura that and be like, you do not want to go in there?
No.
Okay. So that you and Gunny enjoy a drink and you head out and you got your keys and that's the other part of the crit. In fact, that's what it is. He won't notice it till come morning that the keys are missing. Like it's going to take him a while to notice, and he will have no memory of where he lost them.
Good.
Yeah, that sounds good to me. Okay, so you got some keys and access to a vehicle, to a boat. So what's next? Like we do officially need to like start the job. So like how, first of all, can I mute Gwen in Discord? Hold on, let me mute Gwen.
What? I thought I was muted.
You were, but I want to, because I know it's going to happen. I'm not going to mute you because that's a dick move. So let's start by, everyone needs to, before the job, you choose your load. Excuse me. And...
Fair. I muted myself while I giggled.
Mm-hmm. Predictable. And then we will make an engagement roll. So... So first of all... So choose your load before the job starts. So either 3, 5, or 6. It sounds like the job technically is a cult. It's arcane power, right? Because this isn't a direct assault.
I'm just gonna fuck shit up.
Yeah, I mean the plan really hinges on Cassandra's ability to summon a Leviathan gate.
Yep.
Does anyone disagree?
No.
That sounds right.
Okay, so let's talk engagement roll. Is this operation particularly bold or daring? Yes, it is. Summoning a Leviathan gate makes it bold. Is this operation overly complex or contingent on many factors?
Not really. It's a 1-2 thing.
Yeah, I mean, you guys get
Yeah.
the fuck away, and I fuck shit up.
Well, because I mean, many factors, I guess, doesn't apply, because it's basically just the one big thing. Does the plan's detail expose the vulnerability of the target or hit them with their weakest? No. Take +1, no. Is the target strongest against this approach? No. Who's strong against
Is
this approach?
anybody?
Yeah, I mean, aside
Can
from...
I just like fuck Lord Skirtlock over with this thing?
Actually, I think out of everyone, he's the one that would basically be immune to this. But that's for different reasons. Can any of your friends or contacts provide aid or insight? You tell me if you think one of your friends can help you. I don't think that's the case, but
I don't think so either.
are any enemies or rivals interfering with this operation? I mean, they don't know about it, so no. Are there any other elements you'll want to consider? No. So I'll say you take 2 dice.
Are we still disguised as red sashes? Does that help?
Actually, since Monica's gonna be kind of the bodyguard for Cassandra on the beach at the moment, I was gonna say Monica's in a bikini. And if she, I always picture the red sashes literally have like a red sash around their waist. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. So that's what Monica's gonna do. Like she's gonna have the bikini, but like the top part of the bikini is just gonna be one of the red sashes that they took tied around her waist as she kind of lays next to Cassandra.
Okay. Sure. Are the rest of you dressed as red sashes too?
Are you suntanning in the dark and stormy city?
I
of
was going
Duskwall?
to say something, but I thought, nah.
Nope,
it's fine.
she's showing shit off so people don't see her casting a spell.
I'm not dressed as a red sash yet, but I do want to before we actually hit the boat.
Well, I mean, that's basically going to happen pretty soon. So, yeah, you're
Right.
probably...
Yeah, I'll dress as a red sash too.
I mean, when I went into the bar, I
Same.
didn't want to do that. But
No, obviously. Yeah.
Yeah. For
I'll
this
dress
part,
as one
I
too,
am,
but
yes.
I'm gonna be not so much on the boat, but nearby enough that I can provide cover fire.
I have a question about the water. I know in the sea is really dangerous, but if I were to swim in this water, is
I
there
mean,
a hazard to that?
It would be real gross. There might be ghosts under the water. Um,
But they're just pesky. They don't.
I mean, a ghost can fucking hurt you. Like, but yeah, I mean, it's not, a Leviathan can't reach into the canals. Like, it can't.
Well, I
it's-
have a spirit bane charm anyway, so
That's
they stay
also
away
true,
from me.
yeah.
We also
um,
have Ghost Passage, so you can just let one possess you and
It won't do
be
anything.
fine. Yeah.
I'm just trying to find a simple way to get on the boat, and I think being in the water is going to be an easy way to do that.
Okay. Yeah, the order of this is going to get a little weird, but we can just run with it. I'll give you, I guess, an additional die for the red sashes because you're. Well, I mean, the thing is, that doesn't really help you with the job. That'll help you with the aftermath of it because you're trying to pin them for it. But I don't know that it necessarily helps you with the job. Right? That makes sense because
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
if you're dressed as yourselves, nobody's going to care either way. So your dress isn't impacting the job. So someone's going to roll engagement. Who wants to roll? Who hasn't rolled?
I rolled last time, not it.
I feel like Cassandra's about to make a big roll, so maybe not her.
Yeah.
How about Gunny?
Yeah, Gani, why don't you make the roll? So you'll find the engagement button on. I always forget where it is. Someone help me.
It's on the crew sheet, I think.
Yeah, it's under a cargo type.
Oh,
I
it's on
can
the
just
crew
roll.
sheet.
I'm staring right at it. It's above the clocks, like right above the clocks.
I got it.
So you'll hit when it asks you. You'll take one additional die. If it prompts you for anything else, let me know. But
Yeah, just this number of dice.
so do 2 total. Nice. That's what you want right there. So
Good.
basically, things are really nice. Things are like, I don't even know what that means in this situation, to be honest. Like, because 6 usually means you're in control. So I guess what that means is that Monica is showing off her goods, and people have definitely taken notice of you, Monica. They're not paying attention to Cassandra. They're definitely checking out your bikini. Maybe even a couple crows come over to flirt with you. So you're definitely
Sure.
drawing attention there. Cassandra, you're free to do your thing, and I think this will roll over into when Razor wants to get on the boat. Like, you'll be in a good position there too, because they're distracted by Monica, and maybe there's something else going on at the docks. So you guys are in a
She's
good
probably
position.
dressed all in black too, so they can't see her as well.
Yeah, okay, that makes total sense. It's weird to think about one of you in a bikini in a darkened city and the other one dressed completely in black.
The one that would normally be in the bikini is like,
Let's put it
Cover.
so she probably borrowed the bikini.
which
From
is
you?
probably super tight on you because
Yup. Because muscles make boobs bigger.
and Cass is like really
Dude,
small.
Monica, to
compared
impress the crows and keep them distracted, does that like peck thing, but it's with boobs. So it's
I mean,
boing, boing, boing.
And it's that thing where like you're having to like hold up your garments because they're it's like they're stretching out and they're almost like falling off. Like you're having to like, oh, I don't know, that's weird. Oh, anyway.
She's got the worst wedgie right now.
So
Where are these things?
you still have to roll for this. You know that, right?
Yep.
Okay. So you're gonna make a attunement roll. It's
Okay.
gonna be, no matter what, it's desperate. We'll say great effect because let's be honest. You're gonna take 6 stress automatically.
Okay.
I kind of feel like you should be able to resist some of that, but I'm not sure. Like I don't know why you wouldn't be able to. I don't know that the book's clear about this, so I think I'll let you resist, but we'll do that in a moment. So
Okay.
you'll take. Don't do the stress yet, and you do need to make a clock on your character sheet. We'll call it a. Leviathan Song is pretty strong. You know what? Because I think it's interesting. Let's make it a 6-segment clock.
Okay.
Because then it's going to be competing with it's literally going to compete with a demon that's trying to own you, and I love that.
I mean, there's also a demon trying to own me that almost owned me.
No, I know, but that's what I mean. Like, it's going to be between the Leviathan and the demon because the clocks are so close. Not what I meant to do.
I mean, there's only one segment left on the demon clock.
I know.
And I'm probably going to try and take that off this.
We'll see. Oh, let's see. Okay, so you're going to make a desperate attunement roll.
Okay.
Great effect.
hmm
I don't think anybody can help you with this.
I mean, isn't...
I have arcane
Technically,
implements I could
Monica-
give her.
Well, she's not helping you actually basically cast the spell. She's
I'm
distracting.
making sure no one interrupts you.
Yeah, I guess if you want to take a stress, Monica, you'll take one stress and it'll give one bonus die.
Because
Sure.
right now I have a -1. So any help that I can get would
Oh,
be
yeah.
fucking
No, that's fine.
nice.
I have no
Okay.
stress.
Okay,
This is
so
good.
Monica, you take a stress and that'll give you an additional die. I'm guessing you don't want to stress yourself, but we can talk Devil's Bargain.
Devil's Bargain for sure.
Here it is. I got it for you. You will completely, in this one move, you will completely succumb to the Leviathan song. You don't know what that means, but like you will give yourself to the Leviathan.
Sure.
Oh my.
Sure, just so casually.
Whatever.
Fuck yeah! It was either this or the demon.
Well, that's gonna
Come
piss
on.
the
Enter
demon
the
off.
hentai.
Yeah, I mean that's definitely what's gonna happen here. But yeah, I mean obviously that's gonna cause problems because the demon's gonna be super pissed. Because in one fell swoop, you just gave yourself over to the Leviathan. So that's something we're gonna have to deal with, which I love. So thank you. So we're gonna fill that clock.
I knew you'd love it. So.
It's great. It's so good. So yeah, so you're gonna do desperate, great effect, 2 bonus dice.
1 bonus dice because I had a -1. 'Cause
I think it might automatically
Beat up.
calculate, but you can try it.
Does it? I
Maybe
don't know.
not. Okay, so yeah, I guess just you can just do it by one bonus
All right.
die. So how many dice is that total just before you roll?
That's 3.
Okay, so you're rolling 3 dice, desperate, great effect. Roll it up. Oh God, okay. So you do it. There's a consequence.
Mhm.
Fuck.
Of course. It's always a consequence.
So, oh my God, there's so many options I have here. Oh, what do I do? What do I do to you? So, there's a serious complication,
Okay.
which is I don't know if it's a serious complication or reduced effect because technically it's both. Because what's going to happen is the demon is furious. Like, he recognizes what you just did. You just gave yourself over to the Leviathan. He is furious. So, you're like, describe what your character looks like as you're performing this ritual.
She's probably hunched down in the sand, all dressed in black, trying not to be like noticed. She's probably drawing like arcane shit in the sand with her hands and muttering under her breath and kind of looking out to sea every once in a while and just being in general fucking weird looking.
Okay. So here's basically what happens. What you're seeing through your arcane vision that no one else is seeing is that the water appears to be getting, if it's even possible, which it's kind of not, but the water appears to be getting even blacker. Like somehow any and all light that is like reflecting off the water is just getting eaten by it. It's just disappearing completely. We see Monica, who is flirting with these like crows and distracting some of the beachgoers. And you see through your eyes a couple things happen. you start to see these tentacles covered in like slime and viscera that are like slithering up out of the water onto the beach. They're like almost slithering, much like a snake, up through the beach. Some of them are like brushing past Monica's legs, and you're seeing them like sort of like almost sniffing at her and sniffing at the crows. Monica, you can kind of feel like it's like your leg is itchy, but you're not sure why. But you can't see this at all. The tentacles continue past on the beach, and they sort of appear close to the runes that you're moving in the sand, and they begin to like sniff them out. And they almost seem to like lay before you in submission. And then
It starts to cackle.
And then your cackle is broken because you can feel and hear this hideous, awful, blood-curdling scream inside your mind as the demon is like wrenched with agony and pain and frustration. And very suddenly, Monica, you're standing on the beach in a bikini without your weapons. Maybe.
My fists are my weapons, so.
And Cassandra, your attuned eyes see that the crows on the beach have suddenly stopped. And Monica, you do see this, that they have their faces have gone completely like stoic, just blank. And just none of their body, but just from the head, their heads have turned and are focused very obviously on Cassandra. And I think you both see this. Both of their eyes have gone completely black. But the tentacles do recede back into the water, and then you start to see very slowly as the water begins to churn. And nobody notices it first. Nobody seems engaged with it yet. But the water it's going to take a moment. But there are crows who have realized that something is terribly, terribly wrong. A number of other beachgoers seem to have, seem to be aware that something has just changed, but they're not yet sure what it is. So we have these like interspersed shots of these crows on the beach and on the docks whose eyes have all gone kind of black and are all focused in on the two of you. So your ritual was successful, and it's going to take its full effect here in a moment. Meanwhile, Razor, like we can cut to right before this happens. Excuse me. You're going to try to sneak onto a boat?
Yes, the boat that I stole the keys to.
Okay, all right. So you're going to need to make a roll. Do you want to do, like, I'll let you choose. Do you want to sneak aboard before the ritual started or, like, right as she finished? Because that'll have enough.
Knowing what was going to happen, I definitely wanted to be on the boat and ready to take off before this thing opened up underneath the boats.
Okay, sure. So yeah, you're going to want to make, I think, a prowl roll? Or,
Well, I'm thinking this is what my approach was going to be. If there are people like, are they guarding the ships? Like, are there people like around it, or is there anyone on the ship or anything like that?
I think as you arrive, there's probably like a couple crows on the ship. Well, no, you're in a good position. So there's a couple maybe guards, but they seem completely unaware. Like they're playing cards, they're jerking each other off. Like they're just not paying any attention.
But are they on the dock or are they on the ship?
I think they're probably on the ship.
Okay. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna have to stealth that one out then.
Okay. So it sounds like prowl.
Prowl. Yeah, ambush.
Okay. But it's controlled because you have a good your engagement roll is still carrying over. So because like I said, they're not focused at all on what they're supposed to be doing. So you're controlled. It's risky. You're still climbing onto a boat with a couple guards. Or I'm sorry, standard effect. It's controlled standard.
Control standard. That's 3 die. I think I'm gonna take that.
Excuse me. Okay, yeah, roll it up.
Ugh.
4. So you can't. I mean, I don't know that there's a different approach here. Like, you could realize trying to do this that it's not going to work, that like the what you were trying to do is going to arouse their attention, or you can do it with a minor complication. That's your call. I'll let you choose.
I'll do it with the minor complication.
Okay. The minor. Tell me tell me if you
These
think
ships
this is
are all going to get eaten up, so I got to get this ship out of here.
right. Well, tell me if you think this is fair. If you don't, we'll change it. The minor complication could be that this approach takes you longer than you expected. So the ritual has just begun, and you start to feel the water begin to churn under you. It's not fast. It's going to happen, and it's going to happen soon. But you still have a couple minutes before everyone gets eaten.
Yeah, I mean that makes perfect sense. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. And you're in a risky position now because there's a Leviathan gate under the ocean that's starting to open.
Mm-hmm.
So it probably is going to. So you'll end up in a risky position. So like obviously, yeah, things are not great. So what do you and Gunny? Where are you in all this?
I'm keeping an eye on the boat from a decent distance, but I do have a rifle with me.
Okay, sure. So you're keeping tabs from up above. And Edlin, where are you?
I'm probably with the girls, but hiding in the shadows somewhere in case the crows start fighting. I can help.
That's so
keep
good.
them off over there.
Okay.
So like I'm like lurking in an alley nearby, seemingly not part of anything else that's going on. Just
okay. Yeah, perfect. So yeah, Razor, this has started to happen. Gunny, because I imagine you've got that sniper scope watching Razor, so you're kind of watching. You've got his
absolutely.
back. Yeah. So you probably see this happen. Like you see the water begin to turn black, and maybe the boat rocks a little bit in a way that seems pretty unnatural to you, Gunny. Razor, you feel this under your feet clearly, like you know what's up. So Gunny and Razor, like between the two of you, what are you doing when you see that happen?
Cursing under my breath slightly. Move.
Well, my biggest concern, obviously, I need to get this ship out of here, but there are guards that may want to kill me while I'm trying to do this, because they don't know what's happening.
Right.
They're going to be more focused on me. So.
Yeah, but what? Okay, let me put it this way. This is a ship with a motor, yeah?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
As soon as I see that motor start, I'm taking a few shots.
Well,
if the guards are on the ship playing poker on the deck, I should have a shot at them.
Oh, you do, but they're not like, it hasn't become desperate yet. They don't realize the boat has just rocked a bit. The guards aren't in the know. They don't know what's about to happen. Razor does. So you could take shots now.
Yeah, I can't risk the ship getting destroyed, so I'm gonna go straight to the cabin. I'm gonna get this thing out of here.
Are you trying to sneak past them? Because they'll see you, like if you're visible, if you just like walk into the cabin, I think.
Yeah, I'll sneak by and.
Okay, so you'll need to make another prowl roll. This one is risky standard. Okay. 5. So yeah, you do it. I mean, obviously the simple complication is the guards see you. Like you well, no, I guess that doesn't make sense. You know what the complication is? There's another guard in here who's sleeping.
Oh, he's dead.
Okay.
He's so fucking dead.
So are you like he's like snoring when you like sneak in. So you like open and close the door right behind you, and then you're like crouched way down, and you look over and you hear the snore, and you look over and instinctively grab one of your knives, and he's just snoring right there. Are you just like
ear to ear? I just cut him ear to ear.
Jesus Christ. I feel like you should roll, not because you're going to fail, but to see if you rouse the attention of the other guards.
Okay.
Well,
This
yeah.
Prowl again. Ambush with close violence.
Okay, so roll. It's controlled great effect this time.
Four.
So you do it. But I think like as you reach up, he's actually like he wakes right as you're about to do it. Like something. Maybe the boat rocks under your feet again, and it's this that kind of wakes him, and his eyes open right as you begin to drag the knife across his throat, and he immediately jerks and tries to sit up. And what happens is that the blood from his arteries splashes against the glass. Gunny, you see this through the scope. The guards also see it. So the guards are on their feet almost within a second.
And I'm taking my first shot within that same time frame.
Okay, hunt. You're gonna roll hunt. I believe it's hunt, and it's controlled. We'll say standard effect.
Okay. I am going to push myself.
Okay. Well, don't forget you have that pet. I almost forgot this time.
I didn't think that the dog would. I was fairly certain the dog would kind of give us away.
Sure. Yeah. Are you interested in Devil's Bargain?
Depends on what it is.
That's a good question. I don't think I have a good Devil's Bargain for you, unfortunately.
All right, then I'll just push myself.
Okay, so push yourself for 2, and then get yourself an additional die. How many die is that? 3 or 4?
3, I think.
Okay, 3. Okay, nice. Perfect. So, I guess this is an important question. Are you trying to hit both?
I'd imagine that even with a good rifle, trying to shoot through one person into another is not how you succeed.
Yeah, I think it's pretty hard. So yeah, you shoot through one. The blood splatters on the other guard as they're turning to look at the cabin. The first one drops like a brick, and the second one is he's just looking around, absolutely panicked. He does not know what the fuck is happening. He's wildly confused. Razor, I guess you have a moment here. Do you want to deal with that, or what are you doing?
I got to get out of here. As soon as I kill that guy, I close the...
You start the engine, yeah. Okay, so you're going to want to roll, I guess, finesse for the boat. I think we decided that's what it was. Handle
now,
the vehicle.
is this just to start it, or is this
no,
the actual escape roll?
You don't have to roll to start the boat. Yeah, this is actually to start the escape, basically. I feel like it's risky because the water's starting to turn a little bit now under your, it's been maybe a minute. So it'll be risky. Standard effect, finesse. Complication occurs.
Nice.
Oh, nice. Okay, perfect. Yeah, so you do it. You immediately, the boat just starts to move. You've operated boats before. This is not your first time. The boat starts to kind of swivel for a moment, and you quickly figure out how to correct for what's happening in the water, and you immediately start to pull away. I think that this is with enough force because this interests me, your GM. That the guard doesn't realize this is about to happen, and he loses his footing basically. Maybe he even slips on some blood from his now dead friend, and he basically goes tumbling over the side of the boat. And this is when the camera kind of cuts and watches as he hits the water, and there's he starts to sink, and it's so dark we can't see. And then abruptly there's an explosion from the water as he comes up coughing, and you can see him start to float. He knows how to swim. Come on, right? And then suddenly his face, his whole body jerks for a moment, and his whole body becomes stiff, and his eyes go wide, and we see his arms starting to flail, and he opens his mouth to scream, and nothing comes out as his whole body gets ripped violently under the water, and he just disappears into darkness. Meanwhile, on the beach, Cassandra, you've now got 2 crows in your face who are looking...
Oh, no, she doesn't.
Or not? No, I'm sorry. I meant Monica. I didn't mean Cassandra.
Okay.
Sorry, Monica. You have 2 crows who.
I'm clapping coconuts. Skulls together. And then I'm going to grab Cassandra. Gotta move.
Yeah, it's almost weird. They almost look, a good word might be possessed. So yeah, you're going to want to roll, I think, skirmish, or I keep
I will
pulling up.
push myself.
Sorry, I'm pulling up the wrong fucking character sheets. Hold on, I need to pull up Monica's character sheet. There we go. Yeah, I mean, skirmish sounds right. You could push yourself, Cassandra. I think, and yeah, Cassandra, I don't think you're able to help because you're hearing this unbelievably like discordant, resonant song in your mind, and it's the most beautiful thing you've never heard. Your eyes are welling up with tears. It's unbelievably beautiful. So Monica, you just see Cassandra, who just appears to be still in the same position. She hasn't moved. Edlin, you are kind of watching this. You see this happening as Monica's reaching out. Are you able to help? Like, what are you doing in this moment?
Well, I brought some pistols along with me.
Okay.
So, I mean, I will either stress myself to give her a die by taking shots.
Well, I feel like that's you taking shots.
Or I'd wait to take shot. Yeah. I don't really think I have anything else that I can do to help her from.
Yeah, but I'll let Monica go, and then if she doesn't successfully deal with these guys, then you have your guns out. And there's other people on the beach that seem to be like other crows that look a bit, possessed. So yeah, Monica, why don't you roll skirmish? You can push yourself.
Controlled?
Oh no, risky standard. They look prepared for violence.
And 1 bonus die.
Correct. Okay, so 5. So you do it. There's a consequence. So you knock their heads together strong enough, and the thud, I think their ears both begin to bleed as they both kind of crumple down to the ground. And then a complication occurs. They both stand up again. Their bodies look kind of broken and racked with pain. And it's almost like they're not in control of their own bodies.
Shitballs.
Cassandra's still not moving. Edlin, you see this happen. What are you doing?
Fuck. All right, I'm gonna run out of, close the distance a little bit, because pistols aren't long range.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm gonna take shots. I guess just try and shoot them both in the back. Ideally, break their spines so the body is harder to move. Hopefully, I know it seems like they're something else making them move, but
yeah, it does kind of look like that. Okay, Edlin. So if you're shooting, that's generally hunt.
all right.
I think.
Well, attack. Well, that's attack with precision shooting from a distance.
Let's see.
I don't really have one for like a pistol shot.
I mean, it could probably be skirmish. I would say either I mean, you don't have dots in anything. Like, wow.
Nope. Yep. Not a fighter.
Your character's real good at talking to people. Yeah, I feel like hunt or skirmish.
Unless I could. Well, I could take. I guess how. If I could take blades instead and try and prowl by backstabbing.
I mean, you'll have to. Yeah, I'll say that, but I would make it a desperate roll because you're at a distance, and prowling at that distance is going to be a problem. They are focused elsewhere, but I mean, yeah, prowling at that distance. Plus, like this place is starting to turn into chaos, so that might impede your ability a bit.
But well, I guess I'll take the desperate roll just because then I can put a point in skirmish later.
Oh, that's
so it'll max my prowess out.
Yeah. Okay, so yeah, you're gonna attempt to like dash while stealthy. So that's prowling desperate. I kind of feel like it. Where are you trying to cut them? In the spine still, or are you doing something else?
Yeah, I suppose. I'm just thinking. I know people with. I've probably known people with back injuries that can't walk. So, if these guys have got up after being knocked out, then I think maybe if their legs actually physically don't work, they won't be able to come after us or anything. So
Okay. We'll say. I guess we'll just say standard. I kind of want to make it limited effect.
all right. I mean, I do have. I am still battered from before. So no, it's two. It takes 2 to fill out that. So
Yeah.
oh yeah. So I'll take limited. That's
Okay.
fine.
Desperate limited effect. This is real risky.
And I'm gonna push myself. So I get a bonus die.
Okay. Yeah.
So I only have 1 stress right now. So
Okay. You can push yourself for 2 and take an additional die. Okay. So it's a 6. So it's a success. But it's limited. So almost out of nowhere, Monica, you see Edlin just appear. And I imagine, tell me otherwise, Edlin, but I feel like with your vicious state, like
I got a big grin on my face. Like
Yeah.
now that.
And I think,
There's-
Monica, you probably see that, and it's pretty fucking haunting. And you go to cut at one of these guys. I think the limited effect is reflected in the fact that you only get one of them. You probably take both of your blades and just like jab them and like forcefully, thrust into his spine. And his body sort of like stiffens for a moment. And there's a noise that comes out of him that's not quite a scream. It's something, and it's real ugly, but it's brief and like almost ear shattering for a second. And he tries to spin around, but his body is like obviously not working as intended, and he just like face plants into the ground. The body still appears to be moving. It's limited, obviously, like its spine has been something, but he seems to be taken out. Meanwhile, Cassandra still just absolutely enthralled in this beautiful music.
Yeah, I'm grabbing our pick and carry fireman.
So you're just gonna grab her and run?
As soon as I see Edlin coming out to cover, since these things are getting back up, yeah, I'm just grab her fireman's carry. Come on, Cass, snap out of it.
Okay.
Can't you hear it?
Oh, and that's exactly she would be like, oh, just it's so beautiful. Like she looks so happy, just tears. I'm thinking if you have to roll for that, but I guess here's the question, Cassandra. Here's a leading fictional
She's
question.
struggling.
Are you struggling because you don't want to leave the music?
She doesn't. No. She's struggling.
So, Monica, I feel like you have to roll skirmish here to be able to snag to snatch her up, because brawl and
I don't
wrestle.
think you're gonna have a problem with it.
It's not going to be hard because Cassandra's not as big as you, but like she's putting up a fight for some fucking reason.
I'll punch the bitch in the stomach if I got to.
Okay, so roll.
I'm assuming I see the water at this point, so I think it's done.
Well, oh no, we haven't dealt with that. Yeah, so as Razor is pulling away, Gunny, are you still watching the boat, or has your gaze swiveled elsewhere?
Because there's still a guard alive on the boat, I don't think I would have moved yet.
No, there isn't.
Until I see him go overboard, I don't think I would move.
Okay, yeah, but
what I'm
you
saying.
see as Razor peels out with the boat, the guard loses his footing. You're the one who sees it best. You see him get snatched up and ripped underwater.
Well, that's fucking disturbing.
It really is. Like, it's super weird. And again, like it makes it all the worse because the water is fucking black. And you're starting to see the churning of the water. Some of the people in the area are starting to scream. Some bluecoats have started to appear, Gunny, and you're seeing that because panic is hitting the streets. And I think, Gunny, you're the one who also maybe sees that very occasionally as the water is starting to churn and it's starting to go, A bunch of boats it's like it's getting slowly pulled in at first, and some of these boats are moored. They're actually like with line, and you're seeing some of the lines as they're completely taut against the boats, and the water is really starting to go, and you're seeing sort of where I'm sure there's a better word for this, but like where the center of the water is really starting to churn. It looks like occasionally something or some things are popping out of the water to move it. They might look like tentacles. And they sort of rise up and pull the water and then disappear. And the boats are getting pulled taut against their ropes. And then you start to see as like 2 or 3 boats all at once, the ropes just snap and like whip out. And there's guards on some of these boats. And they're panicked. Some of them are trying to start the boats. Nothing is happening. And you see the first boat as it almost immediately as it hits the center of this whirlpool, capsizes. You hear the screams for a split second from the guards on board. One of them runs and jumps and tries to get away, and something rips out of the water, grabs his ankle, and snatches him down. And you're seeing this. There's bluecoats lining the docks who are just staring in complete disbelief.
I hate to say it, but fictionally, I think I have to join them because I was expecting, a whirlpool or something like that, and I'm seeing something very different.
This is much worse than what you were expecting. That is absolutely true. So you're seeing some real ugly shit that, again, like afterwards, maybe you're going to have to explain what you saw because nobody else saw this. Meanwhile, you're seeing all these boats. Monica, you're trying to tear Cassandra away from the beach. So why don't you roll skirmish for me? We're going to say risky, but great effect because she's so small. Like she's, you've got quite a size on her.
I'm
but
a wave.
But she's still fighting a little bit. She's still putting up a little bit of a fight.
About the meatiest part of me is my boobs.
I'd offer to help, but I think Edlin's turning to the other guy that's still standing and looking to get more violence in instead of...
That's okay. I'll push myself again.
Okay. All right. Okay. Yeah, you can push yourself. I'll offer you Devil's Bargain if you want to hear it.
Okay.
Which is real easy. Which is you basically tackle Cassandra. You put your shoulder into her to get her up over to do the fireman's carry. You're gonna break a couple of her ribs.
That's fine.
Okay. So you're gonna take so you don't
this
take it.
fucking bitch unleashed hell. She can crack a few ribs.
Yeah.
For a while.
I just like that your character just is willing to harm the teammates anytime. Oh yeah, sure, I'll hurt them.
It's so good.
It's for her, but it's like somebody tackles me for my better good. Yeah, sure, whatever. It's a few bruises. Like she has no concept of the fact that not everybody can take a hit like she can.
So the funny thing here is like I'm totally envisioning a scene where on a long enough timeline in this game, Monica hurt so many people that you all become vicious, and we have that scene where everyone comes at her in an alley with knives and just cuts Monica down. Anyway.
So the way I'm picturing this,
I've seen her hurt too many people. I'm not getting anywhere near the crazy bitch. I'm just going to shoot her.
The way I picture it is so the blood from the first guy that Edlin took down. So like even in the sand, that's a little slick. So I go to like grab her, and I spear her, like edge style spear to the ground, get to my knees, and then I just heft her up and then keep going.
Ow. She's probably shrieking.
2 bonus dice. Sean is quiet, so I'm not sure what happened.
Shit, I was talking as muted. I'm sorry. So it's desperate, or risky standard, not desperate. Sorry, risky standard. I think you just get 1 bonus die from the Devil's Bargain because you can't push yourself and take a Devil's Bargain. But you can,
I can't.
No, but you can. Someone else can help, and you can get 1 of those die. But I don't know if Edlin can help you tear Cassandra.
No, I'm not. I wouldn't be trying. I'm too focused on more violence.
Killing people. Yeah. So you'll get 1 bonus die from the Devil's Bargain.
All right.
6. Nice. So yeah, you are successful. Cassandra, a couple of your ribs just got broke.
Yeah.
And I think it's fictionally.
2 or 3 territory.
I think fictionally, I feel like you're at 3 harm, not just because she broke a couple of your ribs, but because like, even with your ribs broken, you can feel it, but the song is still louder. Like you're gonna need help for other reasons. But I feel like it's fictionally justifiable to say you have three harm.
Yeah.
Like you can do broken ribs or seduced by the Leviathan song.
Cass is just taking all the shit this time.
Yeah, but it makes sense. So you rip her out of the sand, up and away, and you're like bolting down an alley, and that's when we see like that the crow who Edlin is staring at you. He's looking at Monica like he wants to chase. What do you do?
I will say, eyes down here, and take another slash at him.
Okay. Now this'll be skirmish.
So, because I filled out prowess, do I get that right away, or do I have to wait until downtime?
Oh, I feel like I'm fine establishing that you get it now, because that kind of makes sense, at least for your character fictionally in this moment, being vicious and everything.
Yeah, because I'm putting it into skirmish, so I have at least one in there. So that would help if I get it now rather than later.
I'm fucking muted again. Sorry. So I'll give you. I don't know what the last thing I said was, but it's fine if you take that point in skirmish.
Okay,
But
cool.
also, I like if you can explain to me like how in this moment does vicious help you? Like.
Okay, so having just it's been a while since I last killed anybody, or like I've been trying to keep it a little bit under control, but not trying very hard. But I've just not been seeking it out. So now I'm indulging, and I got the first guy, so I'm just grinning, and the bloodlust is like just giving me a adrenaline rush, and I see that this crow is still paying attention to Monica, and that makes me even angrier because like I want to be in this. Like I know she's the bigger, stronger one, but it's like no, I'm fucking dangerous too, right? I've killed, I can do this, and I might even take the first, like if I have two blades, I'll take the first one and do a slash that would be not as lethal, but maybe more painful. Like hit a particular nerve that I might hurt a lot or something to try and save her in hurting this guy, and then because I don't want to kill him right away, I want to indulge my violent tendencies.
Oh.
Since I killed the other one so fast, so I'm not trying to kill him.
Oh.
Trying to like
Just
make
hurt
him
him.
feel pain,
Yeah.
so that he wants to keep fighting me.
Oh, that's so good. Okay, yeah. So roll skirmish. Yeah, I feel like it's risky, but I'll give you great effect because of vicious. And I'll offer you a devil's bargain that because you're not going for the kill, you want to take your time with him. That someone's going to see this and it's going to add heat. Like somebody who's fleeing the scene, or somebody, maybe one of the bluecoats has showed up, is watching you basically try to not torture this person. It's kind of what it is, I guess. But yeah, so like I'll offer you that devil's bargain too if you want to take it.
Yeah, I'll take that.
Okay, all right. So you're gonna add heat. So whatever I said it was, skirmish with whatever blah blah blah.
Yeah, so one bonus die. 5.
Okay. Yeah. So someone will have seen you. You do that.
I suppose it would, like, because I am dressed like a red sash, maybe it's someone who in order for it to be heat, not like on our group, not on the red sashes, maybe it's someone who saw me
It'll be
the other
heat.
day in the docks
Right.
take out the red sash. Like they saw me around. They can identify me as an individual, not just
Right.
it was someone in a red sash.
Right. It'll be Edlin Keel that, yes, exactly. Someone will have noticed your face and be able to, like, we'll have that post-credit scene where we're at the police station and they're having a sketch artist draw your face. Excuse me. So
See, I didn't disguise my face. I just put on, like, normally I have, like, makeup, fake mustaches, dirt, whatever. But this time I just put on a red sash outfit.
Mm-hmm.
So,
yeah, so
I look like me.
How this happens is you cut him, but because you only rolled a 5, you do it. You cut him, and his mouth kind of opens as if he's screaming in pain, but again, nothing's coming out. And where you cut him, instead of it bleeding, you see like black shadow begin to pour from the wound. And the man in front of you, his body is weak, and he is in pain clearly, but he's still on his feet.
I think the black shadow actually gives Edlin, make him pause for a sec, because he's like, okay, I'm new at this, but I don't think that's supposed to happen.
Yeah. I'm new at this torture thing.
Like,
Is this normal?
I mean, is sometimes blood shadow? I'm not.
Yeah. So he's grinning at you. Let's see. Hold on. You do it. Oh, there's a consequence too.
I take a strike back, since I specifically wasn't trying to, like, I'm trying to keep him in the fight in a way. So,
I mean, he could just hurt you.
yeah. So I mean, like, I could.
Well, yeah. You guys are going to be so battered by the end of this. Jesus Christ.
I'm fine. I don't know what you're talking about.
So, yeah, poor Edlin. So, yeah, he's going to reach out. You know, the crows are trained in martial combat. I think he's just going to straight up he's going to headbutt you. Like, he's just going to, like, haul back and just, like, wham! Forehead to forehead as hard as he can. Again, it's almost like he's not in control of his own abilities, his own power. So, yeah, he's gonna try to headbutt you.
Nose? Is that the?
Well, remember, you can resist it too.
Oh,
I don't
yeah.
know where your stress is, but you can resist with prowess. You have 2 dice because you have 2 points in prowess.
Yeah, I suppose I'll try and resist.
And remember, you have armor too. So if you want to use that, I would let you use it. Like,
oh
remember,
yeah, I do have.
we always forget about that, and it's something I have to be better about.
I did go with normal load, which gives me 5.
You've only used 2.
I've used 3. No, 2. Yeah. So yeah, I'll put 2 points in armor, and
Well,
then. That's different. Or is it? Let me expand that and see what it says. Leather 2. Blah. I don't know if I have to take armor with me in my load in order to be able to use it.
Well, no. Remember how load works in this game. You don't have to take stuff. You can say like, "Oh, I had armor."
I know, yeah, but I mean, do I have to? So I mean, if I say I have armor, which means I have to put 2 points into armor. Say, oh yeah, I did take armor with me, but I'm just wondering, do I have to do that in order to use the armor to resist the harm, or can I, like, because I know there's the armor in the equipment section, but then there's the armor checkboxes next to the healing clock.
Yeah, I feel like you have to take it with your load. I'll have to read up because again,
Okay.
armor is not something we use.
So yeah, I'll use the rest of what my load would have been to have armor, so that I can.
Okay, yes.
resist.
So you just fully resist the blow. Like, what does that look like? How do you resist it?
I think I probably see his him like bringing his head back for the headbutt, and I trying to think. I guess, I mean, if I'm using armor, it makes sense. I was like, this thing I might just like lean my head down so he just hits me on the top of my head and breaks his nose.
Oh,
But-
nice. Yeah. That makes total sense. Yeah. So you kind of pull back, and I mean, it hurts a little bit, but not nearly as much as a broken nose would have. And you pull back and see his face, and now his nose is broken, and there is this like brackish blood that is like pouring out of his nose down onto his lips, and his whole his whole face just erupts in this like rictus of pain and like joy as this huge smile crosses his face. The blood is starting to coat his teeth.
Seeing him smile, I'm going to smile back and say, "Yeah, we're having fun now."
Yeah, and he doesn't seem to be done. Like, he's happy to keep going. But let's cut back to Razor. You're navigating through the canals. Like, you can pretty much have gotten away from this.
Mhm.
Where are you taking the boat?
Well, there are docks near our newly found turf, so I think that's where I'm going to take it.
Okay. Did we say the turf was in the docks or Crow's Foot? I don't remember.
The docks.
I think it's in the docks, but not on the docks. It's like
Okay.
a few blocks away.
Okay.
Actually, you know what? Our railroad train dealie, that's in Coleridge, right? Or is it in Night Market?
That's up to you guys. I want to say it was in Coleridge, but you can change that if you want.
Where are the lamplacks mostly located?
Crow's Foot.
Crowsfoot, okay.
Because there are smaller, looks like smaller docks and stuff like that down in Coleridge.
Mm-hmm. Totally.
I'm going to take it down that way.
Okay. Perfect.
Because I think it'll be... I don't think they would look for it down here. Shoot down that canal and...
Okay. Yeah. So you just sort of pull into a dock. I'm guessing, we don't again deal much with flashbacks in this game with you guys, but did you like prepare like a tarp or something to cover it? Like what was the plan for?
Yeah, I think just for the short term is just to cover it up. But previous to that, I may have spoken with a boat worker or something like that, explaining that I have a ship that needs painted or something, and that's ultimately where I'm going to take it to, is for him to give my ship a new paint job.
Okay. All right, and Gunny, you've seen all this chaos, and I imagine you're kind of like on this roof looking through the scope, just dumbfounded. Like, what do you do? Like, how do you?
After a solid couple of minutes of staring at the water, I eventually literally have the nope, I can't watch that anymore moment. This has officially reached the point of if I keep looking, that Gun and I are going to get a little more intimately acquainted than I'd like. So I'm going to start scanning the beach to see what everybody else is doing at this point, and probably see Stabby McStabby Pants over there.
Yeah, I imagine you swivel just in time to see Cassandra over Monica's shoulder being like ripped down an alleyway, and your scope kind of like lands on Edlin with this guy, like this crow staring into his face, covered in blood. Edlin's got knives out. There are, people are panicked. The Bluecoats more of them have arrived and are trying to like get people away from the scene. Some of them are much like you were, dumbstruck by whatever the fuck they're seeing. We're now at the moment where we're seeing like the last of the boats getting like ripped away from their moorings and what have you. And Monica, like, do you go anywhere special, like with Cassandra over your shoulder? Like, how do you get away? How do you deal with Cassandra?
Cassandra's just over the shoulder, one arm slung around, like, yeah, okay, whatever. She's out of it. I imagine once I confirm that nobody's following me, except for maybe Gunny on the roofs, I ditch the sash, and then head back to the cable car or the drug den, whichever's closer.
Okay, all right.
And if I see any of the Bluecoats taking an unhealthy interest in Edlin, I am going to... I don't want to actually kill them just because that's too much heat, but I'd like to put a bullet through a kneecap.
Okay. Yeah, and in fact, I think that's what you're going to start to see here in a moment. Like, the Bluecoats are seeing this fight going on over by the beach, which would obviously arouse their suspicions because there's a giant whirlpool ripping boats into the water, and these two idiots are fighting each other on the beach. So, Edlin, you have a moment here before the Bluecoats come to inspect to figure out what the fuck is going on. This crow is bleeding profusely on his face. You are feeling vicious. What are you doing?
I think noticing the Bluecoats and noticing I probably if I notice the Bluecoats kind of like turning to look our way more and like seeing more eyes all around. And I might also look and notice that Monica and Cass are not here anymore. Then I might think, okay, this has been fun, but it's probably time to get out of here. But I still take one last slash at the guy, this time for his throat, to try and end it.
Okay. Here's the thing. I'll offer it to you again, much like I did before. Like, I think maybe in your vicious state, like if you choose not to notice that all, because you're so vicious and bloodthirsty that you're not seeing anything else. Like the world has collapsed and all you're seeing is this other thing that needs to die. Then I will give you like a bonus to your roll. But I mean, if you want to just use if you want to see the blue coats coming and see that Monica has disappeared with Cassandra, that's fine too.
I suppose fictionally it makes more sense that I'm just, all I'm focusing on right now is this guy. I think I'm gonna have to take the bonus die again and not notice any of that stuff. Just still be, and if I kill him, I'm just gonna look around for someone else to fight. Like,
okay,
kind of forgot that we were on a job.
Right. That's perfect. Okay, yeah. So it sounds like skirmish again. Risky but great effect because you're just focused on this dude, and then. I feel like I'll give you that bonus. That bonus die. So you'll get a bonus die for free for that, for the vicious. And nobody's there to help you. You're very alone right now.
Gunny says that if he needs it, he'll provide cover fire. Sorry, Jason's restarting.
Oh, like to shoot at the crow to like distract him.
Yeah.
If Gunny shoots the crow, I'm gonna cut Gunny.
Well, he's just trying to distract.
I know.
Okay.
But if he accidentally shoots the crow. But I might just stress myself for a second bonus die.
Okay, you can stress yourself. I'll give, and you can take that bonus die from Gunny. Gunny, you'll take one stress. Mel, just make sure he takes that, and then
he's on his phone.
Okay, yeah. So I think it's like what, 3 bonus dice?
3 bonus dice. Fucking A.
Oh, we got a 4. That's all that matters. Oh my god, you needed that die. You're going to end up in a desperate position. So what happens is, I imagine you basically cut his fucking head off. Like, you're so vicious, you're focused wholly on him. I think we hear the crack of the shot go off. And it's that thing where the crow's body, like, it just automatically ducks. Like, it's trying to get cover. So it ducks, not realizing that that's the wrong play. And we see the bullet hit the sand. In like slow time, the sand like blows up away from where the bullet hit. And then we come back and the crow's body is beginning to relax, not realizing. And you just bring both knives straight across and cut clean through its neck. And its head just like slowly rolls and tumbles. And I think we see it in slow motion tumble away from the body. And the water starts to lick at the head. And finally the water in the canal is just like slowing down. Everything has been ripped away. And the head lands on its neck. So it looks like it's staring at you. The body is still standing, staring at you. It has not fallen yet. And we start to see that shadow pouring from its open neck. It's pouring up into the air. We see the head like being lapped by the ocean water effectively. And then very abruptly, like a tentacle, the last tentacle just pops out of the whirlpool as it's leaving. Pops like through one ear and out the other of this man's head and just pulls it down through the water. You're standing there. The body, all this smoke is just pouring out. This thick black smoke. And about 3 blue coats are like running in your direction. It'll take them a minute to get here, so you have an action here. But it's desperate because the blue coats are seeing you. They see what you just did. And they are like running, weapons drawn in your direction. What are you doing? And this is, I think this is the moment where finally, like, that vicious sort of that bloodlust in your eyes kind of fades. You see that Monica's gone, and it's almost like time travel, because like everything you just were fighting, Monica and Cassandra are gone. There's no more whirlpool. There's blue coats chasing you. Like, where the fuck did they even come from?
Yeah, this wasn't. It's only been like a second, right? Like
Exactly.
Not like a minute and a half. So I guess I will just try and dart down an alley.
Okay. So it'll be a prowl roll. Desperate, regardless. I don't think anybody can help you here.
I might be able to help.
How's that? Oh god.
But it's a question. I don't know if I only have one open stress, can I push for 2?
Sorry, I don't quite take your meaning. Let me look at your character sheet.
That's what I did when I hit my trauma. I pushed myself when I only had 1 stress.
Yeah, so if you fill those 2, if you push yourself, Gunny, you're gonna take a trauma.
I know I'm going to take a trauma. That's actually fine. But I technically only have 1 because I helped a second ago. I haven't taken that stress yet because I'm only just getting back in.
Okay.
So can I still push for 2 and use sharpshooter to lay down cover fire, so to stop the blue coats in their tracks and get them to back off?
Yeah, like shoot
Shoot
in front of them, but behind me. So if they keep, like, so they stop chasing for a sec.
Yeah, I would let you take the 2 stress, but I mean, you don't have to take the stress. We could talk devil's bargain, but you don't have to push yourself.
Sharpshooter literally says you push yourself to do one of the following.
Oh shit! Oh, that's you're trying to sharpshoot. God damn. Sorry, I'm still looking at the wrong character. I'm like, your character sheet doesn't have sharpshooter. It's because I'm looking at Edlin's character sheet. Push yourself to do one of the following. Oh, yeah. Okay, I'll let you. You'll take a trauma.
Yep.
But yes, I will totally let you do that.
Then yeah, I see him. They're definitely getting way too close. He finally looks like he's looking around for the first time in a while, and just way too long a day, and just start shooting and probably screaming a little bit, considering I just watched tentacles eat somebody's head through a scope.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and so you take your stress. Edlin, you suddenly hear this like rapid succession of like cracking sounds coming from a rooftop somewhere off in the distance. The blue coats immediately like skid to a halt. One of them trips over himself and like face plants in the sand. You can easily use this opportunity to just like bolt.
Yeah, I do, and right before my I break sight, I just turn and say, "My Lara Clev sends her regards."
So, but you still have to roll, right? Because you're so prowl, desperate, standard of we'll say great because that bonus. You'll get a bonus die from his sharpshooter. And you know what? I'll say, like, if you want, because you're saying that shit about my Lara Clev, I mean, that's gonna piss off the Red Sashes. I mean, not that that's not already happening, but like that's a devil's bargain. Offend or anger a faction. And I mean, you're literally saying that.
We have the Red Sashes war clock in the crew sheet. That's at 3 to 6 right now.
Okay. Well, I would add a tick to that.
Yeah, I'll take that.
Okay. So you'll get 2 bonus die, desperate, great effect. Okay. So you do it, but there's a consequence. Um, so, I kind of want to hit you with severe harm. And I think I know how it'll happen, but let me take a look at something. Look at my harm clocks here. Da-da-da. It's farther back than that. Yeah, so I would hit you with severe harm. And it would be in the form of the fact that right as you're bolting and you're going to get away, that black shadow is basically going to choke you. It's going to submerge you in like a miasma of smoke. It's absolutely going to feel like you can't breathe. So like you'll get away and you'll be choking on this as this shadow as you do.
All right.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. I mean, I was all up in that shadows business for a little bit, so
you could title it something like suffocated or choked out. You can resist though, if you have the stress to do it.
Is it 4 stress to resist? Is that what it was?
6.
6 stress, so I can't resist it.
Well, no,
I mean, I could, but I'd take another trauma.
No,
no, it's 6 minus whatever I roll.
Correct. There you go. So you there's still a risk of taking another trauma, but you could.
So I'd have to get to yeah, fuck it, I'll try and resist.
Okay. So you're gonna resist with prowess, I think. Well, prowess or resolve. You have the same in both, though.
I guess I'll do resolve just for fun, since I haven't done any resolve rolls today. And there's no bonus dice on this. It's just
correct. It should just roll 2 dice. So you take 3 stress.
Perfect. 1 stress left.
Yeah. So you disappear down this shadow out like this alley, and the shadow is emerging like it's just ensorceling you. You're choking on it, fleeing down this alley, and that's the job, basically. We're gonna have to deal with some fallout here. Gunny, what? Okay.
Yeah, there's no question after what just happened.
Yeah. No, that makes total sense.
I think I could probably guess what trauma you took.
What's
I might be able to get... I feel like Gunny took Haunted, and Cassandra's going to take Obsessed. But I don't know.
Now, so here's the thing.
Sounds fun.
If I'm not mistaken, and I could be, did we ever roll for your resistance? I feel like we didn't, Cassandra.
Me, no.
So we need to do that. Because you automatically took 6 stress, but I am going to let you resist the effects.
Okay.
You're still succumb to the Leviathan song. That's not going to go away. So why don't you roll resolve to resist?
Oh.
That's your best thing, I think.
Yeah, it is.
Yes, you got 3 dice.
I still take a -1 penalty to everything, right?
Yes, you do. Oh, Gwen.
What?
What you wrote in the harm clock. So you take 3 stress.
Damn it.
Yeah, that's... Excuse me. So you're not quite traumatized. I mean, you are in a manner of speaking.
I think it is by the Leviathan's a little worse.
So, yeah, Gunny, you're haunted. You're often lost in reverie, reliving past horrors, or seeing things, which I think
Yep.
we know what you're going to be seeing.
Y'all.
So,
Looking at Cassandra's gonna be weird for a while.
that's, I mean, if you can even fucking make eye contact with her. So,
Cassandra is real fucked up right now.
so you guys got a boat. So congratulations. Yeah. Is there anything else before like downtime starts that anyone wants to do while the job is still like quote unquote on?
Just mechanically, again, like I stated earlier, making sure that the boat's gonna get painted and all that.
Okay. Yeah. That's I don't know if we need to do a downtime action for that. We'll see. Give me a minute to think about it.
mean,
I
nothing
probably-
mechanic, but
Oh.
you guys probably have to keep Cassandra from doing the ritual again.
That's not a problem.
Like I imagine
again, nothing really mechanic. I probably had stashed another disguise somewhere near where we were doing this, so that after I got away, I could take off the red sash outfit and change into something else
Okay.
before heading straight back to our hideout.
Totally. So, let's do some downtime. So you're going to earn 2 rep by default. I think the target is... Well, so who technically was the target? The crows, right?
Yes.
Yes. So you're going to get 3 rep total because they're 1 rep tier. They're 1 tier higher than you. So you get 3 rep. You also earn coin. I'm not sure how you earn coin with this job.
There was money on the boat.
There were goods on the boat.
I'll give you
Something-
guys. I'll just
something on the
give you. I'll give you 2 coin. You guys can put that in the crew or whatever, however you want to deal with it, just so you get some coin.
I'm fine with putting it in the crew sheet.
Crew's fine.
Yeah.
All right, so we're up to 3 in the crew.
Now we're gonna deal with heat. Jesus Christ. Add 1 for high profile or well connected target, which it's not. Add 1 heat if the situation happened on hostile turf, which it did. Add 1 heat if you're at war, which you're not, and add 2 if killing was involved. So you're at 3 heat.
Now, since we were dressed as the Red Sashes, though, would it fall on us?
Well, first of all, mechanically, I'm not going to say you take no heat because you were dressed as the Red Sashes. That's not how the game works. But
Maybe half?
I will say, because you actually added heat from one of your Devil's Bargains, so you're at 4 heat, and this was definitely loud and chaotic. But I will say, because you were wearing Red Sashes stuff, I will say, I don't know if 2 heat. What heat are you at right now?
We're at 4 prior to the, without
So we
taking
would be
any
at
of this.
8 if
So
we
we'd be at
took
8
4.
if we took all 4. And 9 puts us into wanted territory.
I feel like I'm being generous, but I'll say you can take 2 heat. Like, that's stupid generous, though.
I'll take it. I won't complain.
Okay. Entanglements. You're not wanted yet, which is a shame. Downtime. So let's run the list. Because my things are in weird order. Gunny, do you have 1 downtime action? And remember, if you took trauma, so Gunny, you lose all of your stress. Actually, Gunny,
Yep.
you don't get downtime actions because you have trauma.
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't get anything.
That's right. Sorry, Cassandra, your first downtime action.
I am going to. Shit. Do I heal or do I deal with my stress? Okay, I'm gonna deal with my stress for the first round.
So you're going to indulge your vice.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, you can do that. It's going to be fictionally. It's tough because this song is playing in your head and it's beautiful. So you reduce. You're down to 3.
That was good.
That was good. Edlin, your first downtime action.
I will also indulge my vice.
Okay.
it's just 2. I'm not sure why it always does 0 dice.
It's just equal to the highest
But-
result.
But I mean, I should only have 1 roll, I think, which would have been the 2.
Okay, so you can just reduce 2. I
Or
wonder.
maybe
I wonder.
do-
Maybe you do. Like, I'm
What did I do?
wondering.
Get the highest. What is the indulge vice like based on?
Yeah, I know. Hold on. Let me. Create the score downtime. Indulge vice. Are you guys hearing my clicking, by the way?
It's very quiet if we ever do. It's not like it was the one day when you first got your new mic and it was
Right. Okay.
every keystroke.
Roll dice equal to your lowest attribute rating. So, what's your lowest attribute? No, your lowest attribute is 2. It's supposed to roll 2.
Oh, it's
'Cause
2.
you have-
Okay.
You have 2 in insight, 2 in prowess, and 2 in resolve. So
Okay, so I
it's
get to reduce 4 stress then.
right. Correct.
All right. Cool.
Okay. Who's next? Monica, first downtime action.
I'd like to reduce heat.
Okay, how are you doing that?
That's what I'm trying to figure out still.
You just have to tell me, like, fictionally what, you could, like, you just need to use one of your actions to reduce it. So,
Could I intimidate witnesses from the beach if I recognize them?
yes.
I'd like to do that.
Okay. So what are you rolling?
Command?
Command? Sure. So yeah, just roll, command, risky standard. This doesn't really matter. You could push yourself. I feel like
Sure.
a devil's bargain doesn't really make any sense here. So,
I'll push myself. Yeah, take the 2 stress.
okay. So take 2 stress and then roll command with a bonus die. So 5. So with 5 you reduce, I think, by 2. Yeah, so you reduce 2 heat.
Cool.
Cool.
Sweet. Back to 4.
Razor, your first downtime.
I know training is a downtime, but there was a mechanic we did. It was a few sessions back where we were able to pay coin for additional training. Is that part of downtime, or is that
Yeah,
something
no.
separate?
You can always pay 1 coin for an additional downtime action.
Okay. Well, using our prowess bonus training, I'm gonna fill my prowess bar up. I'm gonna use the 2 coin I have plus my downtime action to train, and I'm gonna get another dot in skirmish. Does that make sense?
Yeah, but I don't know how many slots did you have left to fill?
Well, it's 6, but we get a +1 for each training because we have prowess as our training thing for our crew. So each one that I do, I would get a +1 to it. So each training would count as 2.
So
So
you
I'm
used
spending
one-
2 coin and one of my
Downtime actions.
downtime actions. So that would fill it with 6.
Okay. I want to kind of check that. I don't know if. I mean, you might be right. Again, this is not a thing we've used often. Do you really get +1 every time you train with it, or is that just? Is that your crew thing? I'm sorry.
That's
Yeah.
the crew thing, yeah. Because we have prowess selected as training. Any time we train something under prowess, we get a +1.
Oh,
So if I use my action, my
I
downtime.
I thought that I thought for some reason I'm probably wrong, but I thought that meant that you only got you got to train one of those dots when you became smugglers. But I could be wrong. Give me a second here.
No, that was the Renegade's special ability that gave us the +1.
Oh, it's one of your starting upgrades. I see. Okay.
Hmm.
Where's
Now,
that?
this is the prowess that we have listed under training.
Training. If you have training upgrade, you earn 2 XP instead of 1 when you train a given XP track. You're absolutely right.
Yeah.
Or your playbook XP, apparently, which makes a little sense. Essentially helps you
Yeah.
advance more quickly. Yeah. So if you have a training upgrade, you earn 2 XP.
Yeah, so I'm gonna spend my 2 coin and use that action to get an extra skirmish dot.
Gotcha. Perfect. Makes sense.
Yep.
Yes. Okay. So back to Cassandra, because Gunny gets no downtime. Gwen muted. Yep. Gwen.
But do I get XP?
She said,
Yeah, we'll do
She-
XP afterwards. That's fine.
Okay.
Okay, that's
No,
fine.
I'm asking because I don't know if I got trauma if I lose out on it. I don't know the rule.
No. You never lose out on XP. That would be dick.
Okay.
We'll get there in a
I
second.
don't know.
I love doing XP. Edlin, your next downtime?
I think I will train as well in prowess.
Okay, so if you train, you get 2 instead of 1.
Yeah.
And there is a mechanic. I don't think it matters, but if you... Actually, shit, it might matter for you. Because I think it's a trauma thing. Hold on, let me double check. Because if you don't indulge vice... If you do not or cannot indulge your vice during downtime, you take stress equal to your trauma. So you'll take 1 stress.
Well, I mean, do I have to? I did indulge with my first downtime.
Oh, shit, I'm
action,
sorry, you
so-
did. I'm sorry,
Yeah.
you're right. I don't know why my brain did that.
But I'm not going to spend any coin for extra training.
Sure, okay. All right, that's my bad. That's fine. Monica, your second downtime?
indulging vice.
Okay, roll it.
If I can find the button.
I think it's down below to the, or it's underneath your. There.
Fuck.
Yes. Sorry.
Wow.
Can you tell I get excited? I love overindulging. All right. Yes. Thank you.
It's like I've got a 1 in 6 shot to actually overindulge. Anything under the 6, I'll be fine. Fuck.
So we'll see. But here's the thing: overindulging, I love. I think it adds so much to the game. So you have some options. You select an overindulgence. 1, select or roll, and now this is you get to choose which, but attract trouble. You select or roll an additional entanglement. So I would roll an entanglement. Brag about your exploits. You add 2 heat to the crew. Lost. Your character vanishes for a few weeks. Play a different character until this one returns from their bender. When your character returns, they've also healed any harm they had. So if you have a lot of harm, which I don't think you have any, you would lose all of it, but you get to play a new character for a few weeks. Or you're tapped. Your current purveyor cuts you off, find a new source. Now, I know which of those is my preference, but this is your call to make.
I'm gonna do that first one where I kind of entangle.
You want to roll an entanglement?
Sure. I mean, I've already got pissing off the blue coats. Let's see what else I can get into.
Okay. See, this is hard because, yeah, you have technically... Oh, no, because it's heat. So I'll roll 1 dice. How much heat do you guys have?
4.
Okay. Roll 1d6. I rolled a 3. Which means that there's gang trouble or questioning. So what this means is that gang trouble. One of your gangs or other cohorts causes trouble, so it can't really be that. Questioning. The blue coats grab an NPC member of your crew or one of the crew's contacts. So basically I can snatch up one of your friends to question them about your crimes.
Uh-oh.
And then I make a fortune roll to see how much they talk. And it can add heat to the crew. Or you can pay off the blue coats with 2 coin. So either we add heat or you pay them off with 2 coin.
I will pay them off with coin.
You're going to pay 2 coin?
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, fictionally, since Cassandra's paying, I feel like they probably grab... Since Monica is paying, I'm sorry if I said Cassandra.
I was gonna say, I hope not. I'm broke.
They grab Jimmy. They grab Jimmy the Shiv, and Jimmy begins to talk, but you will pay off the Bluecoats before they get a chance.
And then I kick the shit out of Jimmy.
You can do that. So yeah, you lose 2 coin, but
I still lose all my stress though, right?
oh yeah. You clear your stress. And then Razor, your second downtime, which you still have.
Can I work on my clock?
Long-term project?
Yeah, that
course.
regain Rosalind's affection.
Totally, you can.
Yeah.
Let's take a look at it. So how are you regaining her affection?
Well, on September 2nd, I bought jewelry. It was a pendant and earring combination. On November 18th, I bought imported truffles and a fur coat. So I'm going to bring this stuff to her and then take her on a date downtown in hopes of wooing her back to my side.
So you're going to roll sway.
Fuck.
That's what it sounds like. And you have no dots in anything else, so...
Yeah. Is that controlled, risky?
Oh, this doesn't matter.
Desperate?
Risky. Yeah, well, I mean, technically it's desperate, but risky standard, this doesn't matter.
All right.
And you could push yourself if you wanted.
Boom!
Oh!
Nice.
So that fills in 3 ticks. So,
That's done.
yeah, apparently you have regained Rosalind's affections.
Yes.
So you can reacquire her as your vice.
Very nice.
Okay. And then Cassandra, since you were gone, your other downtime
Yeah,
action?
sorry.
That's okay.
Healing. I had to go to the bathroom really bad.
No, that's fine. I gotta clip one of my nails.
I'm gonna heal.
Okay. So you're gonna... I think you could just click healing. I'm not sure if that'll work.
Yeah. It's asking me to input the number of dice.
I think it's just 1. Or did we decide last time it was 2?
I don't remember.
Okay. Recovery 0 dice. Take the lowest result. So,
No, 1. Jesus.
healing. Isn't healing a thing? Hold on. Reduce heat. Oh, recover. Yeah, get treatment. Yeah, so you heal for 1.
I heal for 1. Don't I heal on the clock?
Yeah, you click the clock. You mark 1 tick on the clock.
Yeah. So I don't heal anything technically, do I?
Correct.
Yeah, I'm gonna be real fucked up.
You could buy additional downtime to heal
I
more.
don't have any coin.
I mean, it sounds like you guys need to get paid.
Yeah, we need a job that's gonna make us money.
Yeah, nice clean smuggling job next time.
So
I think we need to think about getting a storefront, something like that.
well, and the thing is, one of the I'm gonna look at the crew sheet here. One of your layers actually does give you coin. So if you find a luxury fence, you can get an additional 2 coin for high class targets. Plus, if you have a side business, like that side business is an actual thing you can get. You can get a cover operation that reduces your heat per score. Like if you look at those things, some of them are fucking great. You realize like how important those are.
Do you have to expand in the direction of, like something you have next? Like can we go for side business even though we don't have the turf right below it?
Well, technically, like if you wanted to go for side business, I would just move the red sash layer to that turf. So we would just click off the one because turf doesn't really matter. So like if you wanted to go that way, you could go that way. That's your choice.
Is that kind of how it works? Like you have to they're kind of
well, you see how they're
tiered.
connected. So
you go down the paths to get those things.
Correct, exactly.
Okay.
Because you can see how like the ancient gate is so powerful. So like you can only get there one of a very specific way. Excuse me.
I like the idea of the side business.
That might be a good next.
Okay, so
It's a good front. It's good for laundering money and stuff. It's good.
So I'll just
crime.
move this over to this. And then you'll have, so then next time, like, you can work on a side business. So you'd roll your tier. So technically your tier right now is 1. So you'd roll 1 dice, you'd subtract your heat, and that's the coin you'd get in downtime. So yeah, you guys, we have that, like, you know, end of episode scene where Cassandra is just like beside her. Like, we see her, like, you know, walking to work and like entertaining a guest, but she's not even there. Like, she's humming the entire time this song, and like she probably scares off a few customers.
Somebody's constantly having to stop her because she's like hunched on the floor drawing weird symbols.
And like we have that scene where like we see her like staring out a window, like at the canals, like at the water, and just like lost in it, just staring into the blackness of it. Gunny, like, what does your post-credit scene look like? Like, how is Gunny faring?
He is actually drawing on shadows he's seeing out of the corner of his eye, just because every so often he thinks he sees something wriggling especially when he's near water.
Yeah,
which is often in this
flashback style.
Yeah, and we have that scene where like he's laying in bed trying to sleep, and we hear like the gentle like crashing of waves, which for most people is like relaxing and helps them sleep, and his eyes are completely wide open and bloodshot, just listening to that, like the subtle like waves of the canals and things below him.
Yeah, and is constantly like, drawing of a gun under the pillow and just That being said, I'm suddenly having flashbacks. I can't seem to avoid tentacles when I play in this.
Are you just keep picturing this little short guy?
You poor thing.
Something about bread. I don't know why that's in there.
I have been picturing him as a short guy too.
Nah, he's like he's straight up Van Helsing from the damn movie. Long coat, tricorn hat, missing a finger.
That's not how I see him.
Yeah,
well, not anymore.
Yeah. And then like we have that
he's
scene where
shrinking.
We see like the camera like, you know, zooming in and out through the different alleys and streets and things of the city. And we see Razor like back on a date with Rosalind, taking her like window shopping and taking her to the nicest places. Maybe even taking her to a certain cafe in Six Towers. Who knows? And the camera kind of like this is where we get like the post credit scene from everybody, where like we start at Razor on the date, then we cut through the canals and like up into a window where we see Gunny just wide awake, like staring, trying not to scream. We cut through to Cassandra like staring out this window, staring at the water, and I don't know where Monica would be.
Out that window, but down the alley again, and she's kicking the shit out of
yeah, totally
out of Jimmy as the two blue coaches kind of walk around the corner counting their coin.
Yeah, totally. I love it. Yeah. And then I think that's everybody, or did I miss somebody?
Me, but I'm probably just actually I go to a doctor and I ask him if it's normal when people bleed if shadows come out sometimes. I just have a few questions to ask you, just informational, really.
Yeah, we cut to you at this doctor,
asking for a friend.
Yeah, asking about shadows and everything, and then the camera kind of like zooms out of this doctor's office along the canals and back to the docks where you were, and the camera kind of like cranes up above the water and is staring directly down into it. And the water's returned to its normal color, which is mostly black, but you can see down a few feet. And we very suddenly, like, almost out of nowhere, this, like, light appears. And we see the shine as this, like, translucent figure appears. And we see that it's the ghost of the man that fell off the boat. And we see the ghost just suddenly, like, abruptly breach the water. And his arms start flailing. And the ghost is screaming. And there's no scream coming out, but there's some sort of like discordant sound as the ghost is like clearly in pain and panicked. And we suddenly see the ghost get ripped back under the water, and the water settles completely. And then the ghost just reappears and flails, and we're just seeing a loop over and over as this happens. And the camera kind of cuts back, and the vision we see, we realize that we're seeing a young man probably like middle to late teenager, like 15, 16 years old. Like little beady eyes and short brown hair, and he's got a couple of adults like flanking him on either side, and he's just staring, and they're all wearing these robes, and they have these like weirdly religious symbols on their chest. And the child kind of makes a motion, some sort of religious motion with his hands, and they all sort of like disappear down the alley. And then the credits roll. And that's
Yay!
Blades in the Dark.
That was great.
Yeah,
That was
especially.
We need to go over
so
our
great.
XP.
Oh shit, we never. Damn it, Conrad. Why didn't you say something sooner?
You were
So-
monologuing.
I was monologuing. Thank you for not interrupting. Yeah, so let's do XP. God damn, I always forget XP. It's like one of my
We're
favorite parts.
monologuing.
That's a great line. I love that. You were monologuing. So let's start with Gunny. So hopefully, I don't know if you rolled any desperate rules.
Nope.
You would trust a challenge with tracking or violence. Yes to both. So take 2.
Yay.
You get a playbook advance.
Yep.
Did you express your beliefs, drives, heritage, or background? Not that I'm aware of.
I don't know enough to do most of that.
Okay, that's okay. You struggled with issues from your vice or traumas. Not yet, but you will.
Dude.
Very soon. Cassandra.
Yes, I desperate roll.
Cool.
So that would be in resolve, right?
Yeah, if that
Or
goes
the
into resolve.
tune.
Correct. Yep. You adjust a challenge with knowledge or arcane power. Mark 2.
Yeah, in my playbook, right?
Well, it's either it's your choice. They can go in the playbook or in one of those tracks. It's up to you. So like I know you're probably close on
That's
resolve.
good to know.
Oh yeah, I'm actually gonna take that in resolve because that'll finish resolve out.
Yeah, so you can mark one of those wherever you want.
I can take up to 3 in one now because of
Yes.
our crew, right?
Well, yeah, you can take 3. You can't take 4. That requires a crew upgrade, but you can go up to 3.
Okay. Okay, so I'm gonna up my attune because I seem to use that a lot.
Yep. You expressed your beliefs, drives, heritage, or background.
I don't know if I did that.
You didn't really make a show of it, but you are Taika Rossi, and dealing with this
Mhm.
kind of stuff is what your people do. So I'll give you a point in that.
Pretty much, yeah.
You struggled with issues from your vice or traumas. No.
No.
Okay, whoops.
I wanted to, but I didn't.
No, you didn't. It's a shame. Edlin. Hopefully you were marking desperates. You
Yeah, I
addressed a
took care of it.
challenge with deception or influence. You tell me.
I mean, the only deception we really did was the disguising ourselves as red sashes, and then me yelling out the leader of the red sash name.
Okay, mark a point.
As I ran
Mark
away.
I'll give you 1 point for that. Expressed your beliefs, drives, heritage, or background.
I expressed my belief that I never liked Pickett. I don't know if that counts.
Mm,
And that I think that Bazo Baz has gotten too complacent.
I mean, I'll give you a point for that. It's a little roundabout, but I don't mind. And then you struggled with issues from your vice. Take 2. Like getting like fuck because you see how that works. Like as you were vicious, I gave you bonuses for that, but it also fucked you because the blue coat saw you because you were so.
Yeah,
tunnel-visioned.
I didn't even care after I started. Like,
Yeah, I think that's a great demonstration of how traumas can add to the game. Like you can see how it gives you bonuses, but it can also do some really weird stuff with the fiction, which I fucking love. Monica, you addressed a challenge with violence or coercion. Take 2 points. You expressed beliefs, drives, heritage, or background.
Nope.
Okay. Struggled with issues from your vice or traumas.
I overindulged.
Yeah, I think we established before that just overindulging is not enough.
Damn.
Um,
I have one choice.
I thought that was the only way to struggle with your vice, was to overindulge.
is that I mean it's
I'm not sure. I'm trying to remember because I think I'm the only one that overindulged once before, and I think I got a point from that.
I got a point
I
when
overindulged.
Rosalind knocked
Okay.
me.
Okay, so in that case, yeah, let's say that when you overindulge, that'll give you a point. So yeah,
Cool. So I went up a level.
so you can take a playbook advance if you'd like.
I don't know what that means.
So one of those special abilities, like Battleborn,
Okay.
Ghost Fighter, Leader, whatever, you can take one of
Cool.
those, and then you reset your experience.
Cool.
Excuse me. And definitely last but not least is Razor. You address the challenge with stealth or evasion. Yeah, Mark 2. You expressed your beliefs, drives, heritage, or background.
No.
Struggled with the issues from your vice or traumas.
No.
Don't think so. And then we do the crew. So this is for everybody. You execute a successful smuggling or acquire new clients or contraband sources. Not really. Contend with challenges above your current station. Yes. I would say Mark 1. Bolster your crew's rep or develop a new one. I'm going to say yes. And the
This
way
is in the crew?
yes, this
Yeah,
is the crew
I'm
sheet.
filling it in.
I was going to say only one of you needs to mark it. Let me find one certain thing because there's a list here. Here it is. Yeah. So your reputation is daring. I'm going to say that you acquired a new reputation, which is strange. Like, if and when people figure out this was you, that was a real weird way to do a job. Summoning Leviathan basically into the city is bad fucking news. And then express the goals, drives, inner conflict, or essential nature of the crew. This is for you guys to discuss amongst yourselves. What do you think?
I'm not even sure where we're at, to be honest.
I don't think
Yeah.
so.
I think we're too new a crew to actually have that yet. Although
But-
there's going to be inner conflict in the near future.
I was going to say, and this is the other thing about trauma, like you can see how Edlin, being vicious, put the crew in more danger, not less. And then Gunny being haunted and how he's going to view Cassandra, that's going to create conflict. At least it should.
Santa's gonna scare the shit out of him, isn't she?
Depends entirely on how you react. Just be forewarned. Too creepy? I get twitchy, and I always have guns in hand, and it can go so bad.
This is gonna be fun.
Yeah. So I think, so we did XP, we did downtime. I think that's it now. I'm not
I think
monologuing
so.
anymore. Okay. So
You
that's
got
what-
caught monologuing.
I did. It's okay. I'll allow it. So that is Blades in the Dark. I feel like that was a really dark but excellent session.
That was great.
You just say that because you opened a portal to the nether realms.
I'm gonna have to think deep, like long and hard about how that's gonna fuck up Cassandra because
I am chaos.
I mean you're. the
She
thing
has
is, like,
Cthulhu now whispering constantly. in the back.
Yeah, welcome to Alton's life previously.
but
You're the
thing
love
is,
child.
Like first of all, let's be clear. Cassandra is very hurt.
Yes.
Like technically, from a mechanic standpoint, because she's at level 3 harm. Like if you suffer level 3 harm, she needs help with everything she does. Like she is so fucking broken. I mean, she's got ribs broken. She's still concussed and drained. She summoned a Leviathan. Like things are not great for her.
If I get one more harm, it's going to be permanent.
That's
Something
okay. I'll bring
permanent
you
happens
to
to me.
Sawtooth. I'll fix you up.
Let's see. Yeah, if you need to mark a harm level, but the row is already filled, the harm moves up to the next row above. So if you suffered standard harm, if you run out of spaces on the top row and need to mark harm here, your character suffers a catastrophic permanent consequence. Loss of limbs, sudden death, depending on the circumstance. So if you suffer another harm, like,
I could die.
well, you will. Like, it's not, you're talking to Cthulhu. What do you think's going to happen?
Yeah, I'll throw myself in the save.
Tea and cake or death.
Keiko death. Keiko death. So, yeah, Blades in the Dark, everybody.
question about in the crew where that right now we have training for prowess where we basically get +1 XP.
Mm-hmm.
Is that like locked in, or can we change that at some point? Like if we decide to move it to insight or resolve or something, is that movable at all?
I would have to look into that. I don't think so though, because then otherwise you've
Okay.
used it to get prowess, and then
Right.
you know what I
right.
mean. That would be my assumption.
Gotcha.
But can you get all of them at some point?
I'm sure we can spend crew upgrades
Right.
somehow to get the others. Like, I don't know what the rules are for it, but I'm sure there are.
Because I mean, for my
Gotta be
character,
ways
I
to
mean,
check
prowess is great, but I'm just saying for the long run, it might be
Right.
nice.
Well, and the other thing is, I just added. I'll have to look because there are rules about vehicles, but I just added your boat to the crew sheet because you do have a boat now.
Sweet.
Yeah. Boat and a carriage.
You guys are regular Uber.
Yeah.
Congratulations. All right, so yeah, unless anybody has other questions, I'm gonna stop the stream. So
Not about
oh,
blades.
excuse me. Yeah, Blades in the Dark,
was
people.
great.
Play it. It's great.